Did. Alright, so since Slash isn't going to be here, from what I assume here, so this is what I want to talk to you guys about, specifically you two. Mike will come in a minute, and we'll discuss it with him too, but from what I understand, both of you want to continue playing.
I would like to, yes.
Okay.
I've been having fun.
I have as well. Bev?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I have a potential new person lined up. And Bev knows who it is, but John, how would you feel if Benny came to play?
Benny?
Benny.
Fuck yeah.
I figured that would be the answer.
I'm down for some Benny time.
Yep, Benny time, every time. Yeah, that's what I figured. He's seeing what if he can do with the schedule, but it seems like he's pretty excited because I think he just got back into Dresden, and it looks like he's pretty excited.
That sounds pretty good. I hope he can make it work, because if Celtic clears up in June and it's, you, me, Celt, Benny, and Bev, that sounds like a good goddamn time. And Mike, of course.
Of course. Can't forget Mike. He will be coming up soon. I told him around 7:30, so we got about 10 minutes. Okay, so general consensus is yes, Benny. We want Benny. Yes, 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 Benny. If I'm interpreting it correctly.
Yeah. I think Benny's he's a hell of a lot of fun.
He's not only is he fun, he's a fucking fantastic role player. Which, I mean, because he has fun in character, and that just makes it even better for, at least for me as a GM. All right.
Because he's not a complete putz or something silly like that.
Right. Exactly. Maneuver. Okay.
Oh yeah, I remember this. This is a Hell on Wheels. That's where we left off.
Uh-huh. Okay.
With the frail Dane that can't hit a friggin' side of a barn.
Hey, can I get the link to the Roll20 quickly?
I threw it up in the home ground already.
Ah, so you did.
Mm-hmm. That thing that we don't use anymore.
Lexi is in a great mood. The cat has finally calmed down and gotten used to the apartment.
Nice.
Well, okay, I stand corrected. He has not calmed down.
So, has anybody actually looked through the combat section of the book?
I did many moons ago.
That's funny. Combat with Louis.
Yeah, right.
I know,
Well,
right?
You do have fists.
I'm fragile.
Fragile.
Close enough.
Well, if you're fragile, now is not your time.
Oh, Louis is probably gonna fucking hide behind something. It was gonna be Connor, but
no, Connor's still going to be here.
all right.
We're not phasing him out. He will be. Well, you'll figure it out.
Things and places and stuff.
Conflict.
All right. I almost forgot we had this tonight.
I know, because we haven't had it in a month.
Yeah, that's a big part of it.
Let's see. Establish groups. Okay. Establish initiative. Okay, so conflict's going to go like this. There's 4 steps. First one is framing the scene. I give you guys zones and scene aspects, which I kind of did already.
But it might be, a refresher wouldn't be remiss.
Correct. You'll see it on the main screen. So basically, each of the outlined gray areas is a zone. You can move one zone per turn for free. Anything past that becomes more. Dance floor is considered a separate zone. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Certain things have certain zones of effect. Guns, I think, have a range in zones, things like that. Oh, excuse me. Aspects for the scene, basically anything about the scene that could give an advantage or disadvantage. Lots of tables is a big one, because there's tables fucking everywhere.
Well, yeah, it's a wedding.
Mm-hmm. Establish groups. It's you guys versus the ghosts. Establish initiative. Next step is decide the order in which the characters act. Duh. Skill used for determining initiative in a physical conflict is alertness. Whenever a conflict starts, the character with the highest alertness gets the first turn, followed by the second highest, etc. Every character gets one turn per exchange. Some powers and stunts can modify the initiative order. Otherwise, the same initiative order is used from one exchange to the next. So we don't actually roll. It's just whoever is more alert. Step 4, take action. You can attack, which is rolling directly against an opponent to inflict stress or consequences on them directly. Maneuver, roll against an opponent or against a fixed difficulty to try to place an aspect on an opponent or a scene. Basically, that is the roll for... oh, look, there's a stack of crates in the corner that we didn't notice before that I can use. If you place an aspect on your opponent or on the scene, that can be tagged by you, or you can give that tag to somebody else for free, so you don't have to spend a plot point for it. But it does use up your whole turn. Right. You can block, roll to set up a preemptive defense against a specified future action. Anyone committing that named action will have to roll against the block to succeed. So, that's 210. Let me give some examples real quick, because that one's a little confusing. So, blocks. Sometimes your character might want to keep something from happening rather than making something happen. Being preventative rather than proactive. This is called a block. So it's not just putting your fists up to block a physical attack. It can be preparing for anything. Shooting, covering fire at an open doorway to prevent someone from escaping is a block. Protecting someone else from attacks. Making sure no one gets their hands on an object your character is guarding. All those are considered blocks in the game. To perform a block, declare what specific type of action the block is intended to prevent. So basically, you would tell me, I'm preventing somebody from taking this thing. Then you would roll the appropriate skill, and then the total of the roll is the block, pretty much. They have to get past the block in order to be able to do their action.
Hello?
Hello!
Hello.
What's going on, Mike?
I'm here. I'm trying to get in. Like, where's my darn sound? I'm like, oh, hey, there it is.
All right, so we're just so the thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, Celtic had to pull out for the moment. He is getting hit by life pretty hard, and while it's not a bad thing for him, it is taking away from his time to be able to devote to the game. So he felt it was appropriate for him to step back. This isn't a permanent step back. He said that his schedule and life should be normalizing somewhere in June, probably end of June, early July, which is perfectly fine. So he wants to take a small break from the group until he can get his life about him. So, which is perfectly fine. But we will be moving forward without Connor for the moment. He will still be in this conflict because it would be completely broken to put you three against three ghosts with no combat characters.
It'd be a really short combat. It's called us fleeing.
Yeah, get the hell out.
Trace has left the building.
Pretty much. So the other thing is, there is somebody that does want to get in. I'm talking to him. He's one of my and John's friends off of the hub, our Shadowrun hub. and he's very interested in playing. He's a fantastic role player. So I was thinking about offering him the slot because since Slash has not shown up again, I'm going to be taking Takeshi out of the game.
Yeah, I think part of that has had to do with, from what I could gather from DB, Slash's life is sort of upturned.
Yeah, that's understandable. I just wish that he would have told somebody, like, in the group.
Yeah. Well, yeah, all I could really gather from DB is it was stuff he really didn't want to talk about. So that might have been a big deciding factor there.
Okay. Well, once he has gotten his life back on track, not to sound callous, but I mean, I want to give him the time to be able to fix everything without putting pressure on him to come back to the game. So he can fit in pretty much anywhere, which is the best part. So if at some point he does come, back into the fold and he feels steady in his life again, he can come back in. And I'll make sure to pull him aside as well and at least say that to him so it doesn't feel like we're just cutting him off and done. But, I mean, he has missed pretty much all of the games so far except for the first one.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So there will be that open slot. I plan on sliding this guy into that slot and then leaving Kelt's slots open until his life stabilizes. So it will be most likely a 4-player game until he comes back.
Okay, then.
Sound good? Mike?
Sounds good to me. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yep, so Bev and John both said they both know him. And they both really like him. So it's probably going to be a real good fit. He's a very good role player.
Just say memo around him. The result is hilarious.
Okay. Is everybody in the... Yes, we are. Excellent. Oh, shit, I got Adric as my avatar. God damn it. Oh, well. I don't really feel like changing it.
The fuck, Sarge?
Shut
what
up.
you doing?
Shut up. You don't know my life. None. No audio video. I think we're good. Clear current chat log. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So so Mike, I was just giving these guys a rundown on combat. Basically, the initiative is your alertness in a physical combat. Whoever has the highest alertness goes first. Whoever has the second highest goes second. Blah 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 all the way down.
Yep.
The thing that you can do a few things in combat. Obviously, first one is attack, rolling against an opponent to try to affix stress or some sort of consequence on them. That can be with a myriad of things, but it is, excuse me, sorry, basically trying to punch, swing, shoot, otherwise inflict some sort of mental stress or physical stress or social stress on them. I don't think ghosts are going to have much social stress, though. You can try.
It
maneuver.
won't go well, but you can try.
Yeah, exactly. You can go for it. That's fine. Try and talk to it. Shame it. That's fine.
Your ectoplasm is showing.
Actually, shaming would be a very interesting method to use. Somehow getting them aggravated or giving them a consequence of, like, frenzied or some shit like that. Anyway, file that away for later, guys.
Other smelt of elderberries.
Maneuver. You can maneuver. Basically, roll against an opponent or against a fixed difficulty to try to place an aspect on the opponent or the scene as a whole. Basically, this is your maneuvering is your ability to manipulate the environment. Oh, look, I'm going to roll to see if there's a stack of crates we didn't notice that I can push over on these guys next turn type stuff. If you are successful against the opponent or against the crate, you can place an aspect on them that is taggable for free. You can either tag it yourself or you can give it to somebody else for them to use. Basically, it acts just like if somebody spent a fate point. However, it does take up your whole turn. So instead of just being able to spend a fate point and get that extra, you have to dedicate a whole turn towards setting that up. Blocking, I was just going through this. Blocking is pretty much preventing an action of some sort. Whether it's shooting, covering fire into the doorway to prevent somebody from escaping, physically protecting somebody else from attacks, or making sure no one gets their hands on an object you're guarding. Basically, instead of being proactive and trying to change the scene, you are being reactive and attempting to guess what your opponent is doing and make them work harder for it. you pretty much declare what you don't want to happen, what action you are attempting to prevent, such as I don't want them to get into this zone. And I'll say, okay, roll this dice. And whatever you roll will be called the block strength. Basically, they have to go against that strength in order simply to do their action. Block action only lasts a turn. You can choose to keep it up or to do something else. If you do decide to maintain it, you will roll again, simply to refresh that number. One advantage of the block is that it allows two players to stack their rolls to prevent something from happening, and they have to go through. They have to roll twice, once against each block. If one of them fails, then they don't do their action. Resolving blocks. Okay, so you can block, you can sprint, you roll to change zones with a higher roll, allowing greater degree of movement. There is no like meters or feet movement, as you can tell if you're in the roll 20. There are these zones that I set up. Pretty much, you can move into an adjacent zone for free. Anything past one extra zone is you have to start rolling for in order to indicate that you're exerting yourself to get there. It can be anything from a narrow alley has 6 or 7 zones because of how hard it is to get around, or it could be an entire parking lot only has like 3 or 4 because it's obscenely easy to get around. Stuff like that. Sprinting just allows you to go more than one zone away. Each character gets one basic action, but under certain circumstances, your character can take a supplemental action and or free action. Of course, if you really don't like any of those options, you can always go into full defense. Any defense rolls get a +2. Okay? And that's pretty much it. You guys just got to get ridiculously creative.
I'm too sober for that.
But yeah, no, it's you guys can attempt, and now this is where the flexibility of this game really shines, is that fighting is no longer a straight I punch him, he takes damage. Intangible actions such as creating mental stress can still damage people. So it's no longer just I hit it with my sword, I win combat. It's people like Luis and Danny can get in on the combat as well by creating situations. They can anger or otherwise throw off the opponents, make them and place aspects on them. That's what I'm really trying to say. You can place aspects on them and their environment around them. So at some point you can say, like, if Danny really wants to, Danny can pull the tablecloth off one of the tables and try and throw it on one of the ghosts. And by doing so, that would be a maneuver. And it would be an aspect of something like a ghost in a ghost costume or something along those lines. And somebody would she would either be able to tag that for free on her next turn, or somebody else would be able to tag that maneuver for free for that extra bonus. Okay? So just kind of wrap your head around that. Everybody can do something. Combat is never just a one-sided ordeal where somebody hides and that's it, and tries not to take damage. Everybody can contribute. Okay?
Sounds good.
Everybody kind of good on that?
I think so. It's just going to take a bit to...
Yep, might need a refresher, but
yeah.
Way, but.
Yeah, if you guys need to, if you have the Dresden File books, the list of actions I saw was on 198, I think. Yeah, 199, sorry. On the under step 4 take action part, there's a list of stuff that you can do, and then the following pages pretty much describe those actions and in more detail, but that's pretty much what it is. Anybody remember how the damage track works?
You take so many... if I look at it, I can remember it a bit better. At least that's
okay. You take so many shifts worth of damage.
Right. but instead of it filling up your health chart, it does specifically that one part of that one number. So if you only take
like 2 shifts, it'd be filling the 2 and only the 2.
and only the 2, exactly. However, if it goes over that into a spot that's not covered, or if it's already filled in, it will roll into the next available. So if you take 2 shifts and your two spot is already filled, it'll roll it to the 3. If that's the end of your track, you're taking consequences.
Would that be with the next hit, or would that be with that 3?
That would be with that 3. Basically, if it rolls off the end, you have to take a consequence to reduce it. If your whole track is filled, tough shit. You're out. Well, not quite. You can stabilize, but basically it shows that you're being completely overwhelmed. So
either physically, emotionally,
exactly,
or whatever,
socially,
or what have you.
Yeah, social is a big one. Social is a harder one to wrap your head around, but it is.
No. Imagine, in any drama where someone badgers their way past a guard. That guard has been socially overwhelmed.
I can see that.
That's how I imagine it. Just when you completely dominate someone to the point where they can't even get around what you're saying.
No, just they can't even. That's a good description of it. Badger them to the point where they can't even. They can odd, but they can't even. Laugh or you all die.
I don't want rocks to fall.
Rocks fall, everybody dies. Next game. All right. Okay, so you guys find yourselves in the main opening where you guys had seen earlier, where all of the extra staff was setting up for the wedding at the Linkett house. You also saw most of the staff running out, as for some strange reason you all ran in and saw 3 ghostly figures rise from the bottom. The 2 on the right look like some sort of bridesmaid, but their dresses are in tatters, and all of them have red eyes, and just their mouths are open in a very inhuman way. Sharp teeth pointed in every direction. This one looks like it's about to star in some sort of a hentai. Meanwhile, this one looks like it jumped right out of Paranormal Activity. And
it's like a really terrible cosplay wedding.
Kind of, but you have the feeling that even though they look a little silly, they themselves mean business. And then, of course, there's this one up top who has the bride's veil draped over her face, but you can very clearly tell that there is nothing above the upper lip. It's just skin. However, her mouth unhinges entirely down to almost her belly button as she lets out this inhuman scream and kind of points at you with a crooked finger with a long nail as her dirt-stained dress almost dissolves into the stage. So everybody make me some sort of mental resistance, because that scream hits you right in the chest. And you just, it blocks everything else out, and all you hear or feel for a brief moment is just torment.
Conviction?
That's a good one. Discipline, that's another good one.
Presence wouldn't do it.
Well, how would it do it?
I mean, trying to keep himself right here and just focused, I guess, but that wouldn't really fit presence.
Nope.
I could try to outscream a ghost, but that never works.
Okay, there's one. Bev, what you rolling?
I'm rolling discipline.
Okay.
Alright, now if I could get the fucking... Alright, my character sheet would not roll, so I'm reloading it quickly. No, that's done. Okay, I want... Ugh.
Ooh. All right. So is anybody actually while on the side, Bev, John? Do one of you want to post in the OC that we're streaming?
I suppose I could.
Yeah. All right. So this will be a mental attack Oh, Jesus. Crap. Hold on. I had the page at some point. Sorry.
This is so odd 'cause I'm on one side of the room, like facing the wall, so I can't see his screen. I mean, like the timeout corner.
Ghostbusters. What?
What?
No,
Who are you gonna call?
No, I swear to God, there's a
Not
Ghostbuster
these guys.
entry.
I'm gonna be straight up.
Someone-
I wouldn't call us to deal with a ghost.
No.
Not
Just
even
remember, if
close.
someone asks if you're a god, you say yes.
I would like to not, because that doesn't end well.
Damn it. Is this it? I think this is it. Right. Yes. Okay. Good stuff. I like that. I did. I'm sorry. I'm getting ready to roll. Roll 4DF. I'm sad that they haven't made fate dice for this. Alright, so defenders win. So Trace, Danny, you both kind of... Actually, tell me how you react to this scream, because both of you just barely managed to make it.
I think I'd be a little shaken, not stirred.
And I'm pretty
But
I'm pretty sure
Tiss,
Danny's just gonna be like, what is like kind of just like almost on the ground, like, oh my god, what the hell just happened?
Okay. Alright, so you guys all kind of count. Lewis, you, however, have failed. It's a 2-shift hit.
ooh, and that'd be a mental.
Yes, that would be in a mental. Because you defended and it didn't quite work.
All right,
There was a
There
net
we
2
go.
hits on you.
okay.
So did you mark it?
Yep, it is marked.
Fantastic.
I don't have a lot of mental, so if I take another one of those, it's gonna hurt.
Oh, I gotta see this real quick. Character sheet.
Just get mad.
Just turn into the Hulk. It's okay.
Louis the Hulk. Yeah.
Louis the Hulk. Okay, so with that, you have 2 other ghosts, but they are not going yet. So who wants to go next? Who has the highest alertness?
Well, where would alertness be under?
That
Is it, like
would-
one of the skills.
It's one of the skills, yes.
I got a 2.
How do I
Okay.
not have alertness?
Oh, I should. That's really annoying.
Do you not have alertness?
No, I do. For some reason, I'm having the character sheet pop out to a different window so that I can, actually utilize my 2 monitors, and it won't do any rolls. It you click the little roll symbol,
Uh-huh.
and I get no love.
That sucks. I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah, well,
Well, no.
I'll-
What is your alertness statistic?
it's average.
I legitimately don't have alertness. How did this happen?
So you have a 0.
Do we,
Um,
do we need to roll?
I would, yes, actually, if you could.
That
I'm
was
gonna
my
roll
roll.
my 0.
That was my roll right up here. Ooh, oh Trace.
How
Trace.
did that happen, Trace? How did
I
that
was
happen?
4. I must have gotten all negatives.
Yep, if you can hover over the middle number and it'll tell you
Oh
what
my
you... Yeah, you
God.
made all negatives on that. Okay.
Yeah, all negs. That's
How? Oh my
Ouch.
god.
All right, so turn order this time. Let's do... Can I? I know there's a way to just add it. Crap.
Did you break it?
God, it's been so long since I've messed with this. There we go. Can somebody roll? Can anybody else see Connor's character sheet?
I might be able to. Let's see what happens if I click
I'll
on
give it
Mr.
a shot.
Sheridan. Yep, I got it.
Yep.
Okay. What would be his best mental defense? Because somebody else is going to have to roll for him. while we're-
Conviction.
roll conviction for
Yeah.
me, please. See if he dodges that 4.
It was
Fantastic.
just the roll that came up.
He's perfectly good.
Okay, so I'm just gonna have to I'm just gonna have to say when I'm rolling Connor.
That's perfectly fine. Okay, so she
And then
has...
you have the roll alertness then for Connor as well. Right?
Oh, he's not so good at that.
Well, I rolled a 2 and mine was at 0. So
I rolled 4 negatives.
Alertness. Okay, he's as good as Louis. Here comes the roll. Hey, he's positive.
Yay! -2.
Wish I could say that.
And somebody roll me a can you roll me a... Actually, I'll just roll it. Hold on. Alright. Man. Okay. It's 4, 3, 2, lots of ones.
all the ones, all the ones.
Okay.
And then poor Trace was his -2.
I just need to get the bad roll out first.
Yep. Initiative probably
That's
is
like
the
what
best.
happened to my poor character in Pathfinder. The bad roll turned into a whole session. He apparently is weak against tridents.
Okay.
That sounds like when I used my tiefling. I kept rolling like 7s the entire game. Every time I tried to use my tail, I rolled like a 7 or a 9 every single time.
Okay, so the different zones that we have. You guys obviously have the one that you are in. There's a small wet bar right next to you. So the scene has well stocked as an aspect. It also has crystal lights for the crystal chandelier that's hanging over everything. That's providing brilliant illumination to the whole room. And you also have lots of tables. So those are 3. There are 2 more aspects on the scene that you guys can discover, but you have to roll for it. There's this over here. You see a small setup for what looks like small cakes and stuff like that, as well as a drastically empty table that is larger than the rest, obviously meant for the cake, but there are small delectable treats. This seems to be the main seating area. 2 seating areas to the sides. There's the dance floor in the middle, which is its own zone. And then there are 2 symmetrical sections, both with almost wedding arches. Obviously, one is supposed to have the bridesmaids on one side and the other is supposed to have the groomsmen. And then there's the stage itself, which is its own separate zone. Okay?
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Okay.
So, Louis, you are first.
I didn't expect to be first. All right.
Do you have any
So there's-
questions for me? Anything that you would like to discover? Or are unsure about? Anything you would like advice on?
I was still racking my brain over everything that had happened last time and trying to think of, who are these people?
Okay, that's something that you can certainly try to discover.
What would you want for that?
To discover who the ghosts are,
Yes.
do you have a good lore score? That would probably be the best for you.
No.
You can ask Trace, and Trace on his turn he's pretty high in lore.
Well, seeing as Louis sort of just got heavily freaked out, he's probably going to dive behind the wet bar asking, what the fuck is this?
Okay, so you're taking a block action.
Yeah.
What would you like to defend against?
Mental.
Another mental attack?
Yep, he's trying to pull himself together.
Okay.
Because he just got mentally stomped.
Okay, if you would roll me, we'll say conviction, discipline. Roll me a discipline.
Oh. Okay.
Well, this is going to be two separate checks. One is to get yourself together. Okay.
That was the discipline check.
That was the discipline check. So you're still pretty shaken, but
That's all. Press on now.
so we'll say a -1 to whatever your block action is.
Alright.
So what are you using to defend against the next mental attack?
All I've really got is conviction.
Okay. So what are you convincing yourself of?
Yes, those are ghosts. Yes, they look scary. They probably can't really hurt me.
That's a good way of defending against it. Okay.
If
So-
I believe it can't hurt me, it can't hurt me. That's how it works, right?
That's yep. Totally right. It's also if you cover your eyes, they can't see you because you can't see
I
them.
But I don't have a towel, and they're not that stupid.
Yep. Go ahead. So roll that conviction.
-1, right?
-1. Yep. So we'll just take whatever you get and subtract 1.
Because it does not. It does not like minus. Oh no, it does.
Oh God.
Okay. So unfortunately,
Clear.
when the bride turns to look at you and gives you an almost sickeningly sweet smile, save for the razor sharp teeth that you just saw go down to her navel, you realize that this might be a bit more real than you anticipated. So unfortunately, your block action fails.
No kidding.
However, we can move you behind the wet bar.
Just he ducking down. To whom it may concern, please get me out of this.
Danny, your turn.
Okay. So can I go behind the bar to investigate? Because you said it's well stocked to see what types of alcohols are back there. Because if Homegirl knows anything, she could probably make a Molotov if she needs it and just burn everything down.
Okay. So that would be a
You little
maneuver.
college anarchist.
Right? So I'm going to ask you this question. So you want to build a Molotov.
Well, she's more so looking for if she needs to set something on fire. There's like a shield for the moment. If she can set anything behind there on fire. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Sorry, I'm having to mute you at the same time and go back and forth. That does make sense. I'm going to ask again as a GM, do you want to do that?
I hate when you ask me that question. So no, I don't.
Okay. No. It is not instantly meant to make you to make
He
you say
didn't ask,
no.
"Are you sure?"
Yes.
Okay.
The reason I ask only because it's number one, it's an enclosed environment, and number
That's
two,
true. We're in the corner.
you're also in a very, very old and expensive house.
Okay.
That's
so
not
I
yours.
can't set it on fire.
You're also not even sure that ghosts would be susceptible to fire.
That's true.
So,
And I can't do a lore check because my lore is terrible to see if she's read about it in a book. What can I even do? I'm trying to think. Besides, the only thing I can think is she would do is because,
you can also try and run a discovery on the suite, figure out what you can find out about it, if anything, other aspects. You can also attempt to maneuver to place aspects on other people. So things like catcalling, saying, hey, stupid over here type stuff, attempting to anger them, social attacks, things like that, because they have more damage tracks besides just physical. So this is a good combat experience for everybody to wrap their heads around the other tracks as well.
okay, so if I move, like you said over here is all the suites and stuff, right?
Right.
So I can't like move and investigate, see if there's anything further like under the tables or anything, just to look around the area, try to get a better vantage point potentially to try to see if there's anything that we can use.
Certainly can. If you want to move over, and then what are you going to use to analyze your surroundings?
I'm going to use, as soon as my character sheet loads, my investigation is crap because scholarship doesn't apply. I guess I'm going to try investigation and pray that I am not dumb.
All right, 1 isn't bad. Let's see here. Why is everything not working? Okay. So you take a look around. You kind of peer under tablecloths. Just basically attempt to analyze the situation. You do find that underneath one of the tables there is a stack of pretty nice silverware.
Silverware?
Yes, silverware. But other than that, at least in this particular zone, there's not much that, at least on first glance, that you think you can utilize.
Okay. Well, would there be another action to, pocket some of the silverware in case, for whatever reason, silver is useful?
You certainly can.
All right. Well, she's going to take a knife and a spoon or something, take some and put it in her pocket.
I'm going to start calling you the Blue Raja if you throw a fucking spoon.
Oh, it totally might happen.
Use the
see what
forks.
this does. Oh my god. Yeah, okay, so then I guess that's my turn, was moving and investigating and taking silverware.
Correct.
Klepto.
Okay, so Paul Revere, which you guys may remember from last episode,
Oh god.
pulls out his cavalry saber and goes, "Toward battle!" Proceeds to move forward and ready himself in some sort of battle stance.
You can have all the fun up there, Revere.
Roll for the fate. And he rolls a whopping 0 to defend himself. So, all right, we're off to a good start. Connor, what would you guys like Connor to do? What kind of RP by proxy?
I feel like Connor would either try to defend people or he would charge.
I'm personally thinking he would charge myself.
Yeah.
Because of his high conviction and whatnot, he would want to protect by attacking.
Okay.
That's my feeling, at least.
All right. So you
I
guys,
guess we put him in this zone over here. That way, if he's going to actually attack, he can attack next turn.
you can attempt to charge. That would give you a +1 to the attack, but a -1 on your
Maybe he
next
would
defense.
duck behind one of the tables, like, say, 22 or something like that, or at least be in a defensive position, take cover.
You guys should be able to control his token.
So
So
you don't just charge in like that.
Yeah, I feel like he's smarter than this just automatic charge in, but just kind of maybe he gets behind 22 and then tries to see if there's anything besides the archers or something that he can use, I guess, maybe against them in that area. Sorry, I'm all about like investigation rolls apparently.
that's up to you guys.
That sounds like something he would do.
Okay, so he's gonna.
Okay, so we're moving him here.
Okay. You see him as he starts walking forward, a calm sense of purpose on his face. You guys have all come to know him as almost a melancholy type character, very lost and wandering, and doesn't always seem to know where he is. But in this moment, like as soon as they popped up, you guys notice a very steely resolve come across his face as he starts striding forward with a sense of purpose, and he reaches under his coat and pulls out a knife. Or I'm sorry. Now you see him. Yeah, thank you. Yep, he pulls like you've seen the combat knife before, and you know he has one. What you didn't know he had was almost a rust-colored orange scythe that just pops out from under his vest.
Louis is just sort of gonna like look up behind the bar like he's officially lost it.
I've lost it. I've officially gone nuts. Thank you, everybody.
You call
Yeah,
that a knife?
That's a knife.
This is a knife.
So wait. We're fighting ghosts, and Magoo pulled out a scythe. Yeah, we're done. Game over, man.
You guys all turn around to see Louis just, I'm fucking done. He like puts his hands up, reaches behind the wet bar, grabs a bottle, and sinks back behind it again.
That is actually exactly what he does.
He's like, I'm just going to drink my sorrows away. I'm just going to drink it away. It didn't happen.
If I'm gonna die here, I'm not gonna feel it.
Okay, so Miss Witchy Magoo over here drifts through one of the tables, in between it, and proceeds to stop and look at Danny. And suddenly tilts her head to the side, but not in a what would normally be seen in a human motion of almost curiosity, but she takes it to an extreme when her head is at a right angle to her shoulders, with a very sly smile on her face, and proceeds to start floating toward her.
This bitch about to get silver in the face.
If you could make me some sort of social defense against intimidation.
What the hell would that be?
This would be like presence or something.
Exactly. This would be presence, some sort of empathy or rapport. Rapport generally would be.
My rapport is good. I could do rapport.
Okay.
So otherwise, I have discipline, performance, and scholarship higher than that, and that's not really going to help me.
Well, whatever you want to roll. You pitch it to me. I just make sure it works.
So basically, I'm rolling this to make sure she's not freaked out by creepy right angle chick, right?
Correct.
So couldn't, by the same theory, since I rolled discipline before, I can roll discipline again? Because technically, it's like this is when thing was screeching at me, I rolled discipline. So not to, kind of, I've experienced this something similar once. I should be able to.
I would say that. I'd say that's pretty good.
Whatcha?
Oh yeah, it's not that you've seen this before, but you saw The Ring, and this is kind of the same thing. She looks a lot like her, so it's easier to convince yourself that maybe this isn't maybe not. It's not real, but it's not as scary. You've seen it before. Meanwhile, Missy here moves into the same square as Connor and proceeds. She gets a very wide smile on her face and extends her arms in almost a hug gesture and proceeds to go in for a hug on Connor.
Can you do like a dive roll like, I guess in his own sense, block himself from creepy hug lady? That'd be a block?
No, block is an action you can take. This would be
Okay.
defense check.
Oh, but yeah, because she's in the same square, then it's her turn.
Right.
Okay.
So what is Connor defending with, guys?
Hold on.
Discipline?
I think it's probably more physical. I mean, it's trying to hug him.
Correct.
So if he's trying to roll out of the way, would that be athletics?
Yeah,
I'd
I'd say
go for it.
athletics.
All right, just give me 1 second to get back to his sheet. I had to put the dinner on.
That's cool.
Oh no, I got it if you want me to roll it.
Yeah, anybody can roll it.
You're having better luck than I am tonight.
Alright, I will roll his. Yep, we got a 3.
Nice. Too bad she got a 4.
Well, I tried.
So she goes in for the hug, and Connor briefly relies on his combat sense and dives across the table, knocking some of the silverware and glassware out of the way, but then promptly forgets that these guys can move through matter, and she proceeds to float through the table and give him a nice big hug. You see the sizzle of the flesh before you smell it, as he manages to kind of pry himself away. But there is a long sizzle.
Ugly burn pattern.
Yeah, there's a very ugly burn pattern. You notice it's a dark red, almost black from where it was touched. It's not a normal burn at all.
But Okay, so it burns. Trace, did this place did people burn down here at some point? Or I don't know. He'd ask Revere that.
Okay.
Just shout it.
It beats me.
That would be something that you can ask on your turn.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're next after Trace and Screechy Lady.
Yep, so if somebody could mark 1 point of physical stress on Connor's track, please. 1 shift.
Ding.
Ding, fries are done. Okay. Trace, it's your turn.
Okay, let's see if I could actually move these tokens. We're gonna go up to 21.
Okay.
Kind of duck behind the table for now. Somewhere like there, kind of like right in front of Revere there.
Okay.
And can I close out of this? No, not that. And we're going to tell Revere to take this, and I hand him my polish.
Okay.
Put this on his sword.
Paul's?
Saber. Paul's, yes.
Do you know if it will affect ghosts or not?
I just
Because
know
Paul
it affects,
Revere is a ghost.
I just know that it affects the metal of swords.
Right.
This is a ghost sword, however.
Yes.
Oh, okay. We'll pass on that then. We'll save that for another use.
Yep.
I get the Connor, but so then we're gonna make a lore check to see what exactly these guys are. If I've recognized them or heard of them or something like that.
Sure.
If it actually wants to work here. Hopefully I get a good roll, not -2.
Yay!
Ooh, look at you.
There we go.
Damn. All right. An 8. That's going to
Boom
be
shakalaka.
That's a fucking great roll. Okay. So you're digging deep into your knowledge, and while the bridesmaids themselves aren't really familiar to you, you're not seeing anything of period to like kind of spark your thought process. But you do notice there's with your Hawkeye vision, or more just chance, you manage to notice a necklace that's hanging around the bride's neck, and it's a very old symbol. The date's pretty far back into Boston history, probably closer to the Salem witch trials than anything. You don't think that this is directly associated with the trials, but you do know that there were a couple instances around then where people were burned at the stake for no reason type stuff. Especially Salem was a big hot spot, but it was happening all across the Northeast. Salem was just one of the big areas it was occurring. So best that you can tell is at this point this woman was burned at the stake in some way, shape, or form. As you kind of get a closer look on her face, you see that the lack of skin on her face is not due to the fact that it's like healed over. It is burned tissue. Every single last bit of it on her face is burned tissue.
Oh my.
Massachusetts fried bride, I guess. So Tracy's gonna say, or just yell out that we're dealing with someone from the Salem witch trials, or
So you did discover the aspect on her of the burned bride.
okay.
Now you particularly have a free tag on it. You don't get to spend it this action because you used your maneuver to discover who they are and discover the aspect. You can either hang on to it until your next turn, or you can give it to somebody else once it comes up. You don't have to pick right now.
I'll hold on to it for now.
Okay, is that it?
Yes, that'll be it for now.
Okie dokie. All right, so the burned bride now takes her turn and sees Louis hiding behind the bar, sees Danny checking out the cupcake selection, sees various stuff going on, and decides to come over here and points at Paul and turns her hand almost. You know how you point a finger overhand, and then you can turn the whole hand around into a come hither motion, flaring the fingers out. That makes sense. Like twisting the wrist around with all the fingers, and finally in a come hither motion.
Mm-hmm.
She does that to Paul, directly at Paul.
Paulie, no.
No, Paul. So she is rolling a 3 against his conviction. All right, he matches. You see Paul start to kind of float forward a little bit through one of the tables, proceeds to snap out of it, like shake his head, and point his sword at her. "This will not happen this day, bride," he says as he manages to kind of pull back into a position. Louis, you going to drink yourself to death in the corner? You're going to come and join the party?
I think Louis is gonna try to sort of rally himself a bit. Nothing but blood, spite, and vinegar. Nothing but spite, vice, and vinegar.
Spite, vice, and vinegar. Okay.
And
So you're going to tag your own aspect.
Yeah.
To what end?
I'm trying to form that, but he's pissed. He sees this, well, piece of beef jerky. this walking, screaming piece of beef jerky, and it bothers him a little bit, and he's pissed. I want to try to find a way to bring presence into this, but I'm not quite sure.
Okay, what are your stunts?
Stunts. Let me see those. Let's see. Let's see. Slick as an eel does not work here. Pointed performance. Music soothes the savage ghost or something like that.
Okay, you can certainly do that. You can also do something to stir their anger, make them step off guard. Music is a very powerful performer, and the fact that you can do a pointed performance means you basically can place an aspect for free on any one of these, depending on how well you roll.
All right. I'd kind of like to help out Connor because he's getting cooked, and I don't want Magoo to get cooked.
Okay. By all means, then please roll a performance check.
Just give me 1 sec. I had to just take the food off the stove.
Sure.
Okay. Performance, because that's something I can actually do.
Yay! Okay, and she's going to defend with conviction.
I roll terrible for that.
Oh, don't worry. You rolled better than her.
Worked.
So, instead of placing stress on her, you're going to be placing an aspect. What are you singing?
Well, something that wouldn't fit. Something that's I'm trying to distract. Trying to, they're obviously trying to harm people. I want them to feel like that is a bad thing. I'm seizing upon that idea of shame, almost.
Okay. Can you think of anything off the cuff that you would be able to sing, to lullaby with that?
Yeah, a blues lullaby. I don't have a name of one right off, but that almost, trying to get them to sleep kind of thing.
Okay. So, out of place, all this fighting and stuff, and you're almost cooing her toward you.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
actually a great way to sum it up.
All right. So you do manage to very successfully place that aspect on her. So what aspect would you like to place?
Someone help me out here. I'm bad at naming the whole aspect thing.
Music sounds soothes the savage ghost is a pretty good one.
I'm
I like
fine
that
with
one.
that. Yeah, I mean, that's obviously, not all ghosts are bad. I mean, look at Paulie over here. But obviously these three are a little riled up, and maybe if we can calm them down, we can sort this out a little bit.
Okay. So as you start singing this blues tune, you feel a tingle like you normally do. Like these, when you manage to really lock on to somebody when you're performing, you relish it. It's something that comes at a great personal satisfaction to you to be able to completely and entirely focus a performance on a couple people, and it's very impactful. And the same tingle comes in as the ghost turns around, and almost for a brief second, just kind of calms down. Like you can just hear, like you can see that her entire existence has just tuned into you for a moment. You're still trying to decide if that's a good thing or not at the end of your turn.
I've got its attention. That's. If Connor wants to cold cock this thing, now's the time to do it.
Exactly, that would be the time to do it. Okay, so
I mean, if these people have been like Louis can almost empathize with that a little bit more than he can with his own party.
lullaby and good night, go to sleep, little ghosty. Connor, if you could really just clock her in the head right now.
I don't know why you have a scythe, but use it.
All right, so that would make it Danny's turn.
Well, I apparently have crazy ghosty lady's attention over here. Do I even have anything that I can? Cause obviously, I'm not gonna attack her because that is the funniest thing that I have ever heard in my life.
Well, again, there are other types of attacks that you can do, mental as well as social.
I mean, look at me. I can't hurt anyone physically to save my life.
There's also maneuvers that you can do to place free aspects on not only the opponent but on the environment as well. As well as having three that you already know. The crystal lit, the brightly, crystal lit, lots of tables, and what was the other one? Well stocked.
Trying to see because I don't even have. Okay, so as crazy as this would sound, my read the surface wouldn't work with a ghost, probably, right?
What is that power? Just describe it quick.
You get a sense of somebody quickly when trying to read them, so I would basically try to. That probably wouldn't work, right?
You could certainly try. You can use that to discover one of their aspects.
Yeah.
If you roll well.
Okay. I guess I'll try to do that on. Well, since my first attempt to read someone takes less than a minute of interaction instead of the usual 10. So obviously, we've been in there for longer than a minute, so I could technically use that. But I don't know what I would roll for that because it doesn't say.
I would use empathy or rapport, one of the socials.
Okay, I can roll rapport for that.
Actually, I would call it empathy. Rapport is when you're building social status between you and another character. Empathy is your ability to read somebody else's emotions.
Okay, that's empathy. So I'm trying to empathize with the ghost right now.
Good luck. Let's see. She's going to use rapport. Yep, two successes. You discover some of the same stuff that just from being able to read it, the way that she walks. You see that she's staying away from light, not entirely, but like big bright things seem to detract away from where she's walking. You notice, I guess, in a passive perception that she's actively ignoring the men in the group.
This one in particular?
Huh?
This one in particular is ignoring?
Yeah, this one in particular.
Oh, great.
So I've got a terrible thing that popped into my head.
What's that?
What's the best part of a wedding? The bridesmaids that are still single. Well, I mean, Louis got the attention of one.
That's true.
If that's a good thing, well, it's probably not.
This is the first time I've ever picked up an undead chick at a wedding.
Hey, there's a first time for everything.
Okay, so you successfully managed to do it. You have revealed the aspect of the afterlife is lonely.
That's sad. Oh, that is sad. Can I like try to be her friend and not die?
Son of a bitch, Louis could be a really terrible person right here.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry. I'm
Can I
sorry
turn
right
into,
now.
Like, the burned Casper.
No. I was just fucking with y'all. That's
Oh,
that's a
well,
bit
you
that's a bit
dick.
harsh. No,
That's cold, Sarge.
Something along the lines of like angry love or something like that.
Love hurts.
Love hurts. That'd probably be a good one. Love hurts.
Love stings. Love stings.
Oh, it even fits with the wedding theme, the wedding singer too. Nice.
Oh, ow.
Love hurts.
No.
Love scars. Fucking Adam Sandler singing that at somebody's wedding. All right, so yep, love hurts is the aspect on that one. So
Okay, and then now I know they're somewhat light sensitive, correct?
correct.
Okay. That's not going to be good.
All right, Paul manages to see her walking toward you and steps to intervene, bringing his sword down in a very trained and practiced motion. Okay, that's not good.
For Revere, the 2. Apparently that's good enough.
Yep. So he manages to get a pretty solid hit. Like, you guys didn't, for some strange reason, you didn't expect the material. Like, you see the sword, it's material, it's a living, it's a metal sword. Like, you expected it to just whiz right through. And then you all remember, oh, wait, shit, he's a ghost, too. Proceeds to, like, just absolutely slam into her shoulder and just cut through. And if she had bone, you would probably see it. She lets out this inhuman wail and turns to swipe at him. But he manages to nimbly dodge out of the way, ready yet again for another strike. Connor. What's Mr. Connor doing?
Let's see. At this point, we would assume that he would probably attack it.
Okay.
Or, no, I'm more so asking the party. Or would he try to get into, like, a better, like, defensive position? Because, I mean, like, at this point, I feel like he's seen that it can go through things. He's seen Revere from across the room use his sword. So he might get the inclination of, why the heck not try my scythe on this thing?
I think that's what he would do.
Okay. Somebody roll weapon for me.
Hold on, I'm opening his shenanigans. Weapons. Swear to God. You rolled a 4.
Nice. Okay, you're going to roll defense. Technically, he's going to roll an extra 2 because he's most likely going to tag the fact that Luis is distracting. Oh, Jesus. So 4, 5, 6. You got a grand total of 7 shifts. She is not going to take a consequence to negate that. You guys see Connor shake off the black scarring and whip out this the scythe as distinctly as he can and slashes directly across the back of it. And right before it hits, you see the orange blade glow as it just slices basically from shoulder to hip through the ghost and just completely dissipates it. And Louis, the very last thing you see of this ghost is her staring right at you in the most peaceful expression, but it's very, very haunting as she disappears.
There's one.
All right, so this one turns around and attempts to rake a full claw across Peter's face. Paul. Peter.
Oh, your name is Peter. You rolled like crap.
I'm Paul Revere. You
Well,
can't hit me.
Jeez. So she goes to swing, but she decides to use the arm that was just cut, and it kind of flails around limply. He manages to easily dodge out of the way. Trace, what you doing?
I'm going to move onto the dance floor. Come around the table, and I'm on the dance floor. And I'm going to throw one of my flash bombs I might have on me up toward the crispy girl up there.
Towards Krispy
So
Kreme?
just-
Okay.
Yeah, see if she's doesn't like the light too much.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause I haven't shared that with the party yet.
Go ahead and make I believe it's a weapon check for thrown weapons.
Let's see, where is that? There we go. Two.
All right. So she manages to nimbly dodge. She sees you pulling something, and waits until it's directly in the air before she literally vanishes and appears on the left-hand side.
Okay. Damn.
So the flash bomb goes off over here, and everybody hears a thump. And that whole section of the room is filled with a blazing sunlight for a brief moment. So she saw that you tried to jilt her, and she just starts floating toward you.
Oh dear.
And
That's a hug.
starts reaching her hands towards your temples. So make me some sort of a physical dodge, please.
That'd be... Come on. Open up. Come on, character sheet. You can open. Thank you. Let's see. Athletics, I guess.
Is that what you want to use?
I don't think I got anything else. Alertness. No, alertness, and I don't got anything.
Okay.
And athletics.
You want to try?
Can I tag that burnt bride?
Absolutely, you can.
I might need that. So
Okay.
I'll +2 to this.
So how are you doing that?
I have an idea of if she was burnt during the Salem witch trials, then she might be trying to do this like mental attack similar to what I've seen with ghosts, and those have been around since like witches essentially in the previous life.
Okay, so
She's
you
mostly a magical type creature.
okay, so she does manage to get one more shift on you. So the attack is successful. You manage to get most of them out of the way, but as you dodge to the right, you feel the hand on your left touch your skull. But it doesn't burn.
Okay.
Um,
So would that be a mental stress then?
However, you do feel as she literally slaps you upside the head, and you go skittering into the table at 7. You realize she's a bit more powerful than she looks.
Okay.
So go ahead and take one physical stress for me.
Okay. That it?
That's it.
Alrighty.
Louis, what you doing?
Well, Connor's taking care of the one I was trying to work on. How's the big bad one looking?
She hasn't been touched. She's looking at Trace, though, with a slight smile on her face, and it looks like she's starting to float toward him.
I'm gonna try to, confuse her the same way.
Okay. You will have to move up into the next zone to do so,
Alright.
or else you'll be suffering a penalty.
Just like that?
Yep.
Okay. I'm trying to think of one of my aspects I could tag, but I can't think of any right now. Other than can't get that sound anymore. Trying to pull out that unique sound to really stop this thing.
Okay. You can also try a mental or probably a social attack by insulting her.
That is an option altogether. And you know what? I already tagged Spite, Vice, and Vinegar, and this bitch gave me a headache. So here we go. I don't have a clever insult ready, so insert one here.
Okay. Now remember, you do have to spend your fate points to tag your own aspects, or any other aspects on the scene that aren't free. So he already used the burned bride. You could hit that and really get a dig at her, but you would have to spend a fate point to do so.
I already spent one to tag my own aspect.
Well, did you actually roll for that?
No,
I was about to say you didn't actually roll for that. You just said you did. So
my bad.
No, it's all right.
So I guess I'll spend a fate to really get that dig at her.
Okay, so you are tagging the burned bride and a social attack. What are you using?
Presence is my go-to for that.
Okay.
That work?
That's fine by me. You will have to relate the attack somehow to yourself, which I don't think would be that hard, but...
Lady, I've been to a lot of weddings in my day, and I can understand why they burned you.
Okay. Alright, go ahead and roll it. Oh, man. No, also get the +2 on that, too, because...
Oh, whoops. I am sorry.
That's all right. You
So,
could also
3.
choose to re-roll the dice instead.
I'll re-roll.
Okay.
With the +2 on there, or...
Yeah. No. +2 is... It's either or.
Alright, I'll just take the re-roll then. And it didn't matter.
Well, she defends at a -1, so you're getting 2 shifts of social attack on her. It rolls right off the end, because ghosts don't have any social skills when they're frenzied. And she whips on you, and you just hear the piercing scream as she turns around and somehow looks directly at you. You know that she doesn't have any eyes, but you know that somehow she's staring daggers at you.
Like every other woman in my life.
Yep. So she now has the social consequence of burned once, twice shy.
Aw, she's sigh.
So that is Luis's turn. Miss Danica.
Okay, so I know that there's silverware in this box. I'm trying to figure out a way, because if they're sensitive to light, and there's those giant glass chandeliers that you made a point to mention, is there any way to reflect light somehow to potentially inflict something upon this one? But I have no idea how to make that happen. I know she's a book nerd, but I don't know how to see if there's anything that she could use from her.
Well, there are shiny... with your discovery of silverware, you do find a shiny silver metal tray. Highly polished silver metal tray.
Okay, is it like daytime?
Yes.
Are there windows?
Yep. Oh, this is huge, beautiful open windows.
Okay, so can I somehow, like, if you read it in a book somehow about, like, angling the light off of the dish?
I don't think you need to read a book on that.
Like Kamehameha with the dish?
Geometry.
I don't think you need to know a book on that one.
It's
But
all
if
geometry.
If you want to do a maneuver on and in order to use that light and affect the ghost, you most certainly can.
Yes.
All right.
So I need to. What am I rolling? Should I tag that scholarship because she had to
No,
use...
that's not scholarship.
Come on! I will forever try to find a reason to use my scholarship.
And one day you will succeed, but it is not today.
Will that be like resources or like what would that be?
I don't know. Tell me.
I
I would actually probably say athletics. Because you got to whip the tray up, you got to position it, you got to aim it. Very, very demanding on the upper body. Plus, it's really the only thing that would fit.
Yeah, this one. All right, This is gonna be pas terrible.
All right, well, you get 3 successes on it.
Jesus.
So you managed to do you as the beam. You get a very, very good spot. You're in a very warm, sunny spot. The sun is rising directly outside of the window, and as you turn the polished silver tray, you see the actual reflection itself going across the table. And as it runs across her, she immediately recoils. But it can't happen fast enough. You manage to catch her across the entirety of it, and she just starts to like destabilize. Is almost the best word I can describe for it, as she just seems to fade. Just fade. Like somebody turned off a CRT TV and the static just goes away.
Woohoo! Score 1 for Smarty.
Nice.
So Paul takes a moment to assist Trace back to his feet and goes, "Friend, are you okay? In the
fine.
rubble of the fucking table."
I'll be fine. Get the bitch.
Okay, indeed, a vast. Oh my god.
Last words. Just get the bitch.
Just get the bitch. So he charges forward with a battle cry. Your very own, the one, the only, Paul Revere.
The bitches are coming. The bitches are coming.
The bitches are coming. And manages to get a 1 hit. As he comes on, he slices upward and tears across her chest, revealing a black cavernous chest as it just splits open. And the ribs themselves almost seem to form a mouth, and just lets out this scream, flails her hands up, and proceeds to try to attack him as well. So yes, the bitch's chest just opened up into a sideways mouth. So, what's Connor doing in response to this new threat?
I could see him coming in from the other side and having a pincer attack.
Yeah, or that part, just like your mouth's going one way, he slices the other way.
Like so?
Double smile.
Give him a Chelsea smile. All right,
So
somebody
we
roll
have
it.
him
I mean,
attack
we are
first.
playing in Boston.
That's true.
So is that weapons?
That would be weapons. Yes.
Weapons. I guess you want me to roll it?
Anybody doesn't matter to me.
Oh no, I was asking. I wasn't asking you. Really got too sassy at him. Okay, so you guys want me to roll it, or does it matter?
Go for it.
Oh, help if I hit the submit button.
All right, 4 shifts. So she's busy as she's literally leaning forward, almost to consume Paul. With the new mouth that has formed in her chest, and Connor rushes up and with the scythe flips it around in his hand and pierces at the base of her neck and runs it all the way up into what her brain would be if she was a human, and basically tears the whole head in half. The blade again turning a bright orange glow right before impact. and it's just basically her head slowly falls apart, and both halves of the body hit the floor and dissipate.
OP Connor's OP.
Congratulations, guys! You survived your first conflict.
So can
Drinks all around.
Can I give Lewis a hug and be like, "It's okay, buddy. It's okay."
I mean, you can. I don't know if it's gonna do anything.
Can I give him a hug and we're like, "We need a drink," and go to the bar?
If he's there.
I get Paul a pat on the back, say, "Thanks, man."
You go to do that, and about halfway through his body, you remember that he's a ghost.
Oops.
he nods in respect anyway as he pulls out a small cloth from his pocket and wipes the blade off both ways, gives you a quick nod as he sheaths his sword and says, "Well fought, well fought. It is, I find it more and more tiresome to murder my own flock when they turn so rabid. Unfortunately, we do have to put the dogs down once they turn, but it's always painful."
Has this been happening more frequently?
Unfortunately, it seems like so. As of recent, the number of my flock that I've been able to rescue have been dwindling. Meanwhile, we just simply tend to lose track. We hear from some one day and then never hear from them again, only to hear new ghost sightings across Boston. So I can only assume that something more foul is at play, or maybe I'm just no longer doing what I'm supposed to. He gets very introspective at that as it kind of floats there. Sarah picks this point in time to also rush in, kind of look around and go, "What happened in here?"
The smart ass me wants to be like, "Well, we didn't set it on fire," but the honest Dame would just be like, "Well, you see, there are these 3 ghosts, and well, we didn't want to die."
As one can imagine, Paul, were these more that turned? And he looks at her sadly and says, "Indeed, Sarah, my lady, it's happening more and more frequently." She sighs as well and goes, "Damn, I don't know what it is, but this needs to stop. We need to figure out what's going on. Because if it continues like this, all of the historical sites are going to be overrun with feral ghosts soon, and we'll never be able to meet our funding and preserve the history of Boston if they keep chasing people away. It's like a Scooby-Doo mystery in here. Except nobody's going to be unmasked to be revealed to just try to scare them off the property. It's legitimate ghosts that are trying to kill people."
Old Man Jenkins.
She kind of looks at you and gives a small smirk and says, "Well, at least there's some humor to be found in the situation."
I'll start tidying up in my zone.
Okay. So I think everybody's going. So is everybody going to kind of help clean up and etc.
Yeah.
off? Okay. We'll take a 10-minute real quick. I got to refer to some notes as well as go to the bathroom. So take a bio, grab a drink, whatever you need to do, and we will return momentarily.
Sounds good. 10-minute break. We won our battle.
Oh, good.
We were fighting 3 ghosts. Paul Revere was helping us. The main baddie attacked me and sent me flying across the room.
What?
The main bad guy attacked me and sent me flying across the room.
Slacker.
And then every year we put the flowers on the counter and forget the other end.
Then Paul Revere helped me up and I said, "Get the bitch."
Oh, I didn't need to hear that again.
Oh my
Okay.
god, what happened?
I'm scratched over 60% of my body.
Oh, Cat, come again.
or the British are coming.
I heard that one. Alan can't do it tomorrow. There's a networking event.
Okay. What do you want to do for dinner then?
He tried to garrote me with it. Oh my god. Very uncool. Just grabbed two ends with his paws and came at me.
But he doesn't have a opposable thumb.
He's beyond them. And he's smart. He knows things. Sometimes
Want to do something with like shrimp or something like that?
heard the worst.
It's tilapia in the freezer.
Particularly brutal. I had no
We
choice
can
but
do
to strip
that.
naked and hide underwater in the bathtub. I read that cats are afraid of water.
They are! They are!
Kirk isn't. He found me. And he seemed to derive greater power from the water. That's when the bulk of the scratching happened.
Well, then, I think it's good you're giving Kirk a little space right now. Relax and enjoy your food.
I can't taste my food.
Just try to relax.
Thanks.
Hey.
There's a couple fancy writers that have been watching our game.
Sure, that's okay.
You're telling me that.
I'm starved. Could have eaten. You kept telling me not to eat. I did not. You did too. You said you were waiting for them.
Oh, you didn't have to wait for us.
No, I wasn't waiting for you. It just worked out this way. Right.
Looks great. Tasty.
Well, shouldn't we give thanks first? Thanks for what? Well,
We have to check to see if it's tomorrow or Thursday that there's no train tickets for on sale.
It's Friday.
Hey, friends. We went to Sophie's and we go to grandparents for lunch.
Full day.
Well, you can skip eating this one if you want. Just have Cokes or something. No big deal.
No way. You're the main event today, my friend.
Good.
It's good in the end.
Definitely. Got some more marshmallows?
Yeah, I can grab some. Hey.
I had terrible alertness, so I was last on initiative. I had -2.
So, no offense, but lame-o kiss.
What?
You and Jeff, like a couple of chickens pecking at each other.
Where's your own business?
Oh, it was right in front of me.
So, I don't need a review.
Sorry.
I'm just not good with the public displays.
You didn't have that problem with Dean.
I know, but now I just feel like everybody's watching.
People are not watching you.
You were watching.
I created you. It's biologically predetermined that I watch you.
I just don't know how this whole second boyfriend thing is supposed to go.
Well, he's your first, second boyfriend. Give it time.
The whole town got used to me like Dean. It's just weird.
It'll get easier. You're gonna have hundreds of men in your life.
Gee, thanks.
Well, maybe not hundreds, but a couple, 3 more. It'll get easier.
I guess.
Honey, they'll adjust to seeing you with Jess.
And then there's Dean. What do I do about him?
Well, you know, we'll be moving on too.
Is there potential for appetizers with Alan tomorrow or no?
Well, we're out of here.
Time to walk some of those off.
Oh, we'd have to walk to China to walk all of it off. Which way's China?
That way. Have a good night.
Hey, by the way, that was some half-ass kiss you two had. You gotta give him a little something, honey.
Bye. Bye. Bye, Maury.
Bye. The whole town is watching. You ready for this?
Of course.
Even with the Cold War?
It's been going on for 34 years. I can manage.
Been a bit cold in these past few weeks.
Oh, no, I'm fine. You know why? It's 2 hours, and I do plan on extricating this from here in exactly 2 hours. The night will be over, and I won't have to see them again until next year. So, start your stopwatch.
Hello. Hi, Grandma. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Lori. Happy Thanksgiving, Lorelai.
Happy Thanksgiving. 1 hour, 15 minutes, 40 seconds. Oh, wow, it's a piano player.
That Brad I found him at Nordstrom.
Was he on sale?
I thought a little background music would add a nice touch. He knows every song ever written.
Free bird. Hi, Brad.
Lorelai, please.
It's
Now come
Alan.
along. Everyone's here.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
all here.
Just give you a heads up.
Of course, yeah.
These are guests, Natalie and Douglas Wolf.
You told Matt. Yes, at the auction. Yeah. Same here.
And this is our international contingent, Claude and Monique Clemenceau. They've just been good friends.
Ah, so, hi. I guess Spain. Oh. Hello.
Monique, voici ma fille et ma petite fille.
Ah, elles sont si jolies.
My Monique speaks only French, so please excuse the inconvenience.
Oh, no, that's fine. I love French.
She really wants to learn English. That's the night will inspire her. Et d'ailleurs, elle dit que tu voulais apprendre l'anglais.
L'anglais, oui, je veux bien l'apprendre. Mais je suis tellement paresseuse.
Oh, dis-donc, Monique. Ah, trompez pas.
Merci.
Oh, no. That's why I love it when the Clemenceaus visit. That gives me the opportunity to...
Oh my god, it feels so nice down here.
It is freezing.
No, it's not.
Trees and grab a blanket.
Oh, you're fine.
We're back.
Yay. I'm back at least.
So am I.
John, we lost you, bud.
I'm here.
There you are.
I forgot the mute was on.
I'm being nommed on. Hold on.
Mr. Like the AC on.
I do. Where are my plot points? There they are.
Literally, I changed into PJs and I'm wrapped in a blanket and I'm still freezing. He thinks it's nice weather.
Yep.
Or climate. Temperature.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's delicious.
No, it's not. It's freezing.
Much cooler temperatures this week. So
Thank God. All right.
Michigan's nice and rainy this whole week. And I'm loving it.
This weekend it was kind of dreary. Then yesterday I was out the window dying with pollen. Like we couldn't get a breeze at my job to save our lives. We were like dying.
Okay. So, we're all back. I think I got my head on straight here, what we're doing. Alright, so let's go back to the splash screen, because there's no reason to stay on here. Alright, so you guys are kind of cleaning up and picking things up. Bless you. Trying to just straighten everything up. And does anybody want to investigate, ask questions? Sarah and Paul have been hushed conversation about the ghosts for a couple minutes now, while they're trying to pick up. Paul obviously can't help all that much, but anything you guys would like to talk about?
I'm going to talk about the spectral elephant in the room.
Okay.
Just Louis going to walk over. Okay, so ghosts, that I'm okay with. Angry ghosts, does someone want to bridge this gap for me?
Sarah kind of is helping Trace pick up pieces of what was remaining of the table that he got thrown into. And is placing a chair down, and she kind of looks to the side and sighs a minute. Give me a moment. Let me bring her back up, actually. So Sarah, again, putting things back up. All the staff has come back in, and she manages to look at you and just sigh, like very weary all of a sudden. It's not so much that they're angry. And Paul's kind of floating nearby, and he has a very guarded expression on his face. See, when something is left behind, when somebody dies, people speculate, think about all kinds of shit that happens. They go from the afterlife. The Egyptians thought, if we buried them, they'd be okay. Things like that. The thing is, if there are sometimes things left behind, regardless of where they go, and that's what ghosts are. Paul here is technically only part of Paul. Granted, he's the very emphatic and responsible part of him, but he's still here. Paul kind of herds these remnants. It's what he calls his flock. And but there's only so much you can do. Basically, that part of them has to find peace before they can go away, before they can move on. to whatever the afterlife holds. Not even ghosts know. Paul has made it his mission to help them as much as possible, and in my preservation of the historical elements of Boston, I help give them enough time to do that, which is why the Historical Society is so pertinent and important to me. Because if these historical landmarks, if there's too much chaos introduced to these ghost lives, then it will send them into what we call a rogue state or a feral state. In which case they'll just lash out and attack anything because they don't understand what's going on.
And that was Bridezilla back there.
And yes, that was, her name was Sarah as well, actually. Last we saw her was a month ago. We don't know what happened, and here she showed up, and we had to kill her. That's also, unfortunately, part of Paul's responsibility is handling the feral ghosts in Boston, but he only has so much ability. And as of recent, they've only been increasing, and we don't know why. There's no indication, there's no signs, there's no symptoms. It's just they disappear from his flock and they reappear elsewhere and they're attacking people, and we don't know why. She seems real exasperated at that point. Like, this woman is used to getting a lot, and being able to do a lot, and the fact that it almost seems like this has been going on longer than she says, due to her exasperation with the topic.
Has there been any change in your historical society, like from a business perspective?
The only thing that we've had is we constantly search for funding in order to be able to keep these buildings intact. We can't do it by ourselves. The most recent one and probably the biggest impacting has been PRI has made an offer. And like I said, before all of this happened, they had strings attached that they would get first look at any new discoveries that we've made, and obviously that's just not acceptable because it's very obvious that they intend to take anything that is of any type of value and use it for whatever purposes a business could possibly have with historical items. And we can't do that. That's a lot of times that's part of a ghost's rehabilitation is the observation of those objects. So we can't let them do that. But Goodman, not Goodman. Sorry, gotta look back here real quick. Justin. Justin was he was the only one in here that was really supportive of it. We're not in the best state of affairs right now, and their money is enough to pay a lot of overhanging bills. And of course, while most of us in the organization are not for this, he would be the balancing factor, because we need the money, but the moral cost of it. And as she's starting to explain this, Paul almost explodes and just throws his hands up and he says, "I cannot believe that you are even still considering this."
I can see Paul's very much against this.
They have nothing but ill will toward the dead, I assure you. They mean nothing but harm to this organization, and this form of money is just coated in ill deeds and contempt. No man would even be suited to wipe his ass with it than he would be to accept it for use for our organization. This is ridiculous. And of course, Sarah rolls her eyes and kind of, pinches the bridge of her nose. You guys get the distinct impression that this is a very old argument and has been repeated many times.
Has there been someone from Lance PRI that you've been in direct contact with?
The only we're actually in contact with Mr. Van Sellinger himself. Normally, we don't deal with anybody but somebody that is backing the money. For most sake of just being familiar with them, I do like to understand where our funding is coming from, to understand what interests people possibly have with it. Again, obviously considering the importance of these things, I would much rather have a small trickle of money coming in from well-meaning people than a large sum of money from those who might intend us ill will. But I must say the offer could not have come at a better time. At least for PRI. So as you guys are talking back and forth, everybody make me an alertness check.
God.
Danny, is that yours? The 4?
No,
Okay.
I haven't even rolled it yet.
Oh, I don't know. I saw a 4 on here. I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh, that was for
I got 3.
that was Connor's roll a while back.
Gotcha. John, you still with us?
Yeah, my headset was fucking up. What do you need from me now?
Alertness check.
I got
Better
a
than college girl.
0.
Okay.
Yep.
Danny, you're completely enamored with this argument right now. You are wholly uncomfortable with how these two are speaking with each other. They're very aggressive. It seems to be a real straining point for both of them right now. Louis, you're almost content with the amount of chaos that you've just stirred up, and are considering sitting back with a cup of whiskey and watching the fireworks happen. But you notice the same thing Trace does. Trace, you really don't want any part of this, and you want it to stop. You want to try to mediate, but at the same point, you have almost no idea what's going on.
Do not draw the dragon's attention. Simply let it fight, and everything calms down.
Exactly. At the same time, you both kind of look at each other, and that unsaid communication happens of Louis basically saying, "Don't you fucking dare interrupt," and Trace going, "But come on, like seriously, they're
Bartender,
fighting."
Go get me a drink. This is a good show.
And as you both kind of break the gaze, you both look toward the stage, and you notice a small little girl standing at the stage.
Hey! Just Louis is gonna start snapping at like, hey, company.
And everybody,
Right on the children.
okay. Her feet kind of end around her calf area.
Ooh.
Like sunken in the floor, or just missing?
Just missing. They just kind of fade. She's got a cute little blue sundress on. Little smudges on her face.
Paul, who's that?
Looks pretty normal for the most part. But she's just standing there watching you all.
I asked Paul who that is.
That's Samantha? He starts floating over, and instantly any conversation between him and Sarah is forgotten as they both start kind of cautiously moving up. Sarah kind of keeping eye contact, or keeping an eye on Samantha, kind of tilts her head towards you guys and says, "We haven't seen Samantha in 2 weeks. It's a very long time to be outside of the flock." And Paul kind of floats up and goes, "Samantha, how are you? We haven't seen you. We've been worried." "I know, Paul. I'm here for Harry." Paul is slightly, like, he kind of
Harry?
like tilts his head. And Sarah looks around and shakes her head. And
Harry
Who's,
who? Yeah, who's
Dresden?
Dresden.
Please don't say Houdini. I'm pretty sure that guy died of a punch to the chest or something.
I'm here to report to Harry.
I'm gonna look at the head angry lady in charge and just this is this something you need to deal with, or should I dive behind the bar again?
She kind of shrugs and gives that I have no idea what's going on either shrug.
I'm gonna kind of move behind a table just in case.
Just Louis still being pretty pissed off and wanting to make more trouble. So he's just gonna walk up. Polly, the chat's real nice, but can someone explain this to the rest of us?
Mr. Revere looks at you and slightly angrily. This is delicate. I would appreciate it if you would keep a calm demeanor, Mr. Louis.
I'm perfectly calm, Polly. I just want to know what's going on. I've got a bad curious streak, you see.
Do you know where Harry is? He
Harry.
gave me instructions and I don't know where to find him.
Who is Harry?
Hang on, wasn't Harry the guy that died in the bar?
No, that was
There's Justin.
Justin
That was
Hampshire.
Justin.
Yep, that was the dead guy in your bar.
Okay. I can't say I know any Harrys, or at least none that would talk to ghosts.
Is he Harry? Is Harry Harry?
She kind of tilts her head. Not really. He was actually balding. Well, if Harry's not here, I guess I'll go to where he sent me from. And proceeds
Very
to...
fun.
Her whole body just kind of turns around on the spot and starts floating out the back.
Hang on. What did he tell you to do? Maybe we can help.
She keeps floating.
Paul, do you mind?
I'll keep track of her on foot, but you all, I have no way to communicate with you once I'm outside of this. You might want to follow us. Proceeds to start drifting off after her.
Trace,
Okay.
get the car.
Alright, let's go.
Yeah, she's just gonna follow back. I have no idea what's going on. We're just gonna go. We're just gonna roll with it.
We're gonna roll with it. Okay, so everybody piles in the car.
Yep.
Trace, make me a
Yep.
driving check. And the other two make me. So while Trace is out getting the car, Connor gets a phone call. Proceeds
What's
to
up,
pick it up.
Magoo? What's up, Magoo? Got to check in with someone?
Snaps it shut, and you can see that he is visibly shaken. Says, I'm gonna have to skip this one out, guys. I'll catch up with you.
All right. Well, don't let us find you in an alleyway or something.
Wouldn't be scared of that, but I'll be in contact. I'll call Trace's bar if I need anything.
You know, the rest
There's
of us
my-
function normally, but whatever.
There's my driving check.
Oh dear. Okay. So Connor, Trace, as you pull the car up, you notice that Connor is walking by himself in the opposite direction. And as you pass him, he starts going into a light jog.
I yell out the window, everything okay?
He just kind of gives a wave over his shoulder.
Alright.
So you pull up. Bev, I assume that Danny and Louie are going into the car.
Of course.
In the car.
So both of you need to now spot where the hell these ghosts went.
Alertness?
Go for it.
Oh.
What would you like to try anything?
I wish I was.
You could always bump Trace over.
Yeah, you want to drive?
Well, I have a whatchamadoodle where if we have to do any risky maneuvers or racing, I get a +1 to it if I'm driving. As I saw this in a movie once, it's one of my stunts.
Yeah, I think you better drive.
All right. Well, then I will politely kind of like motion you to scoot over.
Louis, you barely survived the last time she drove. Or at least you've convinced yourself.
I didn't drive.
No, I'm saying in your past.
Are you compelling him?
Huh?
No, I'm not compelling him. I'm just letting him know. I'm establishing rapport between you both by saying that in his mind he barely survived the last time you drove somewhere. Louis, what do you think?
Sorry, I had a cat in my ear.
It's all right.
What's up
Who
now?
would you rather? It's like who would you rather drive, Pilot's girl or Trace?
I said, well, you've convinced yourself that the last time she drove, you almost died. That may not necessarily be true, but that's what you've convinced yourself of.
Trace.
Yo.
No, that's my decision. I rolled a 1d2. I flipped a coin. No, and you'll see Louis just pull out a coin, flip it, Trace.
Alright, I'm driving.
I mean, he won't kill me.
I could kill you while I'm next to you in the car. That really doesn't help your argument.
Honey, I'd
Oh,
love
by
to
the
see
way,
you try.
By the way, I wouldn't drink that water if I were you.
Okay, so Trace made a 0 on the check. Both of you make me alertness something to spot ghosts.
I rolled 1 earlier. That was this 2 I just threw up.
Okay.
Would you like me to roll another?
No, you're good, Bev. Nice. All right, so Bev, Danny reaches forward real quick and goes, "There, follow him." Right, Trace, Louis, right as you're about to point, you see a hand flash past your head and point toward the front.
Beat you.
What do you know? You beat a nearly blind guy whose head still hurts from a ghost ripping into it.
Not my problem.
I put some like new age music on the radio.
Hold on, let's see if I can find something real quick.
Oh God.
Let's see if I can find it. Hold on. I have to refresh. 2 seconds. There we go.
You are listening.
Okay. So we're
You are listening to Berlin Community Radio.
so he puts on the new H in the background as you take off down the street at a very, very fast pace to keep up with these guys.
That was so loud.
Sounds of Berlin.
Really? It's loud? Hold on.
And I just turned down the master music volume and the cog. I was like, nope.
Hold on. Is everybody okay with it? I can barely hear it.
I can barely hear it.
Yeah, I can barely hear it.
How's that?
That's
Still
better. I
can't.
can hear it now.
Okay, excellent.
Oh, I got it, yeah.
All right. So you guys, he turns on the radio. It starts taking off down the road. Actually, Trace, can you make me a lore check? It's very simple.
Berlin Community
check?
Radio. The community sound of Berlin.
1 second. There you go.
Okay.
Berlin Community.
Excellent. You know that ghosts can't be seen by anybody unless they want to be seen by them, or they recognize their presence.
Radio. To Berlin.
So what we're so they're kind of drifting out in the middle of traffic right now, and this little girl just keeps going, Paul's very close behind. He's almost walking, but walking at a much faster pace than what his legs seem to indicate, if that makes sense. Like, he takes a step and he moves forward 10 feet, but it doesn't look like he moved that. Like, his legs aren't moving 10 feet. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. So he's gradually keeping up, but she kind of disappears into the side of a mall, and he quickly disappears beside her. The road, however, keeps going straight. You want to make me a navigation check? Everybody, make me navigation. Figure out where the hell this mall goes.
Navigation.
Driving would be your navigation check.
All right, cool.
Nope. Could I use alertness instead?
To know your surroundings?
Yeah.
There might be a better statistic. You can pitch me something else if you want. I don't think alertness would really work.
Wait, hang on. I rolled the wrong thing anyway. I apparently driving.
2 for driving. Yes.
4 for driving. Because I didn't see it on my sheet until now.
Okay. So, did you re-roll it then?
Yes, I did. I thought it was a mediocre. Turns out it was an average.
Excellent. Yes, actually, Dreaded Hope, we are playing Fate. Okay, so Danny, you're lost. You're not really familiar with this section of Boston. Trace, you do know that there is another road on the side of the mall. You just don't know how to get there. This particular small strip mall. Louis, however, you instantly.
I mean, if these streets could talk.
That would be one of the times to use it. Yes.
I only have 1 fate point though.
That would do it.
Yeah.
So Louis taps your shoulder real quick and he goes, there, take a left here. I know how to get there.
All right.
So you guys turn down another street quick, and you actually drive through the child. And is now currently behind you as you round the other side of the street. Trace, what do you do?
What now?
So as you turn down the street that Louis told you to, and go on the street on the opposite side of the mall, you turn a corner and you see the child directly in front of you, and it phases behind you.
Stop the car.
You're gonna stop the car in the middle of traffic? I mean, you can. I'm not gonna stop you from doing it.
But, I didn't know what kind of road it was.
It's a fairly I don't want to say downtown Boston, but think like, at least for you and me, think like 7th Street in Allentown. Like fairly populous, lots of shops, lots of small shops around, but it's still a pretty big thoroughfare.
Who's in is Danny in the passenger seat, or is they both in the back seat?
It's up to them. How'd you guys stack up?
She's probably in the back.
Louis takes shotgun.
There you go.
I quickly bail out of the car and tell Danny to take the wheel.
I'm in the back. I can't take the.
I mean, I'm average at driving, so.
Oh, okay. So are you like pulling over to the side?
Yeah.
I feel like out of the 3 of us, I'm probably the best at social aspects with the ghost.
Okay.
But I need someone to move the car.
All right. So Trace quick pulls over and puts the 4-ways on, being the safe person that he is. Yeah, who's jumping? Come on, somebody. Quick. The ghost is leaving.
I'll jump out and hold things up. Hey, whoa. Who was this? Fuck, I forgot his name. The guy you were talking about. What did he tell you to do?
Harry.
Oh, so you're both, so Trace and Louis are both jumping out to talk to the kid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I guess I am.
Find a place to park the car and meet us.
Sure, I will somehow magically climb from the back seat and park the car.
So you guys both get out, and you realize that she's already on the other side of the street and is walking into another building.
Yeah. Time to hustle. Open all your walking shoes, Trace.
Fuck it.
Well, at that point,
I
I
yelled
guess
at Danny, call Louie!
Call Louie.
like I have his number, and she just like is already in the front trying to like control the car so she doesn't crash it. Do I have to make some sort of like, would that be a risky maneuver for me to climb from the back to the front?
Well, since it's pulled off to the side, no, I wouldn't really say so.
Okay.
They parked it and put the four-ways on.
Oh, okay. Because originally he was basically like, oh, I just dove out of the car. I was like, oh, what?
I thought about that too. I'm like, okay. Okay, so Danny climbs up front, starts driving the car. You guys are going to try and cross traffic to get to the other side. Make me a alertness check.
Alertness time.
Okay. Louie, you pretty much just dive headfirst into traffic. You have your eyes set on the prize. And it's the very classic jaywalking across the like New York City streets where the person comes up and blares a horn at you and you slap their hood like, come on, I'm walking here, as you take off.
De Niro moment.
Yeah, pretty much.
Love it.
Trace, you follow very quickly behind and allow Louie to blaze you a path through traffic as he almost gets hit 3 or 4 times before you finally make it to the other side.
Hey, I'm walking here.
You barely see Paul's back half phase into a office building in front of you. Danny, what are you doing?
I have no idea at this point. I guess am I at least like I can see them from the car? 'Cause I'm assuming at this point I'm still in the car.
Right, and you did see them go into the office building.
Okay, well then she's gonna park the car and follow them into the building.
Okay, so you guys all jump into the building, all run in, and you see a nice office building that says something along the lines of like Recruit Corps or something like that. It's very obviously some sort of like job placement office. You run in, you kind of see them in the back part, and a receptionist looks up at all three of you and goes, you must be the 3 o'clock appointments.
Excuse me? 3 o'clock appointments?
Yes, we are.
Excellent, follow me. And she starts walking you toward the back, but right before you get to where you saw the child and Paul Revere disappear into the back, she turns off to the right and leads you into a sort of conference room. The conference room does have an emergency exit out the back. There are some shades open on the one wall, and you can see the child going down the alley behind it.
Why did it have to be an alley?
So the lady sits
I
down.
suddenly grab my bowels and go, oh, I gotta go, and then go out the emergency exit.
Sir! Door opens. Tweet, 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 tweet. The fire alarm starts going off in the building.
Can I try to navigate around to the other side of the alley?
Random
basically?
question.
Okay.
Because of me being this person that I am I gonna be like shorting out electrical systems or no?
You're not casting magic around, so no. I wouldn't say so.
Yeah. Be with me driving. I mean, I imagine that's okay.
Yeah, you're a mild practitioner. You're not big leagues, so you wouldn't be shorting anything out.
Could I navigate to try to get ahead of her?
The girl?
Yeah.
Absolutely, go for it.
All right. You want driving for that or alertness?
You're not in the car.
Me. Alertness, then?
Sure. Actually, athletics, if you're trying to get in front of her.
Athletics. Ooh. Alright. Here goes nothing.
So, you manage to start getting in front of her. You almost cut her off at the pass, per se. And she just kind of floats right by you into the building across the alley.
Oh, god damn it. I'm just gonna look at Trace. Do you have anything that can get a ghost's attention? I don't know. You hoodoo types have to have something.
Resources check.
Sure.
See if I carried my right potion with me today. There we go. 1.
Nothing quite like that.
Damn. I know. Before I'm going into this building, I'm going to try going around the backside instead of going in this time.
Okay, guys, I'm going to have to take 5 real quick. I'll be right back.
Yep.
Alright.
You're holding my GameCube flyers. I think the gray is the Wii.
Do we need all of this?
We don't need the black ones.
Like I can toss it as we do when we don't need it?
I would hold on to them. But the gray one we will need. Yes, we'll need that too.
Hey, Mom, she wants to see your house. What? Tonight before the dinner. Oh, okay. Okay, did you hear what I said? That horrifying woman wants to see your house. Your house, the one with the monkey lamp.
Mom, relax.
Is it clean?
Yeah, it's clean.
If I came in there wearing white gloves, what would I find?
But you can pull a rabbit out of your hat
I don't know what to do. Oh, never mind. I'll just figure it out when I get there.
when you get where?
I'll call you later, Lorelai.
When you get where, Mom?
I'm turning onto a street now.
Mom, no!
I'll just let myself in. I know you keep a key in the turtle or some ridiculous thing like that.
Mom, I beg of you, make a very dangerous U-turn right now and go back where you came from.
I'll talk to you later, Lorelai.
Mom!
Oh, Lori, super. Could you step in here for a sec? Oh, okay, thanks. Just,
We have to go through all these flyers and figure out what we don't need.
I can do that.
What is this?
Just put them all down there. I'll figure out what we need, what we don't.
The parents canceled
What?
that.
Just put them all down there. I'll look at them one day.
Didn't she?
One day.
This week.
I don't know.
This week.
So there was an issue that had to be discussed. We figured you okayed it. I did not okay it. Mr. Hunter, there's been a mistake. Parents canceled this meeting, and
I know, Roy, but Nancy approached me and said there was an issue she planned to discuss at the meeting today, and has a bit of a ticking clock.
you did not mention that you had anything. I was just so surprised that Paris was canceling the meeting that it blew right out of my head. It was New York to London in 3 hours or less. I'll bet.
Roy, you think to see if we can get started.
I move that we postpone this meeting until Paris can be reached.
We're all here now. Let's just hear what Nancy has to say. We can fill Paris in later. By the way, did anyone try to find her?
I saw her walking off with, who is that? Her brother? Paris doesn't have a brother. Really? Well, she certainly seems to know him. Betsy, why don't you just tell us all why we're here and how long we're staying? The Wadsworth Mansion has just had a cancellation, which means we can get it for farm if we move quickly. Shall we go? Hold on. The Wadsworth Mansion is too expensive. We've already discussed it. There are plenty of funds there to cover it. Not if we want our telescope to be the senior gift. I mean, not if Paris wants a telescope to be the senior gift. We all thought it was a good idea. Reach for the stars. Nice being the original. Let's be optimistic. It's a good gift. Fine gift. However, so is planting a nice tree in the plot. Every class plants a tree. Well then, who will read it justice? I thought let's put it to well.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Welcome back.
Everybody here? We good?
Yep.
Yes, no?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. Bev?
Hmm?
Okay. Okay, so Danny, what are you doing? The fire alarm in this place is going off. The woman that just brought you into the conference room is staring at you in shock and trying to stutter something out as the two leave via the fire exit into the alleyway.
I guess at this point, try to, lead her towards the way out, try to figure out if she can maybe figure out what she's trying to say to her. She's trying to say something, but she can't get it out. Just be like, well, at least come this way to get out of the building.
Okay, so you start trying to direct the woman out of the building, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you take her out. She's just absolutely stunned that somebody just outright left. She's like, I can't. Oh, by the way, Trace, take a token for me, please. Take a fate point.
Okay.
Because everybody knows your name. So as you leave, the girl and Paul Revere both fade into the brick building on the other side. There are no visible doors on this side of the alley. Come on, they're getting away.
There's no... My brain is broken.
What's happening?
The Paul and the child have vanished into the side of the building on the other side of the alley, and there's no visible doors. There is, however, an exit to the alley that leads onto the street that you guys may be able to get down.
Yeah, I'm just gonna beat feet. Ain't got time to stop and piss about.
Okay.
At that point, nothing else you can really do. They're trying to follow them. We're gonna have to hoof it.
So you guys start hoofing. Everybody starts booking it down the alley, full speed, running as quickly as you can. Everybody make me some sort of physical dodge, as you run into the street and hit a throng of people.
Alertness.
Okay. Trace?
Alertness.
Okay.
Nope.
Danny?
Hold on, I'm checking one of my stunts.
I would honestly totally allow the I saw this in a movie once.
Well, no, it's for driving though.
I know. I'm saying I would allow it.
Oh, but I have twinkle toes, so I can use performance instead of athletics while dodging.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Cause my performance is a heck of a lot higher than my athletics.
Dun, dun. Oh my god. Okay.
Dodge.
So Danny quite literally cartwheels through this crowd, doing a one-handed handstand jump that she has used in one of her dance classes before, and manages to clear the whole throng of people and continue booking it down the way. Trace, you very politely ask it, excuse yourself, and meanwhile, Lewis, you hit the curb. And your foot catches it, and you go flying into the face of about 4 different people and take them all down with you. Reactions?
Then just looks back and she
That's
just
Louis.
shakes her head. Poor Louis.
That's Louis.
Da 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 da. Louis, what are you doing?
Trying to get through this crowd in one piece and figure out where the ghosts went.
I assume some sort of scramble of watch where you're going as you take off again.
That one's on you, buddy, and starts running.
Okay, so you all continue booking it, just in time to see the child and Paul Revere cross the road again. But this time it looks like they're heading into a residential apartment building.
Look both ways before crossing the street.
So as they're about to enter, though, both the child and Paul stop. And the child seems to start hovering as she slowly escalates. She's going straight on the outside of the building before stopping somewhere along the 4th floor and fading into the building.
I guess since I'm kind of the closest out in front, I'll go into. It's like an apartment building where you have to get like buzzed in or something, or can you just like literally walk into the building?
You can walk in.
Okay, well then I'm just gonna walk into the building and go up the 4 flights of stairs because ain't nobody got time for elevators.
Yes, I agree. I follow.
Okay. So as you guys go in, there's a very.
I can't hear you.
Sorry. As you guys go in, there's a very bored security guard sitting behind a piece of, like one of those little cages. Very obviously the owner of the building, and he goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hey, whoa! What are you guys doing? You just barge in here like you own the fucking place? What's wrong with you?"
Yes, I'm kidding.
Well, with college girl, that might be the case, but
do you know who my dad is? No, I'm kidding. I'm not actually gonna say that. Who's better with social interactions?
And you said this is an apartment building?
Yeah.
Who needs a bodyguard?
It's the owner. Sorry.
I've got deceit and a terrible idea.
Okay, please, by all means.
Look, buddy, just friend of ours on the 4th floor, coming home. It's his birthday, trying to surprise him. We're in a rush.
You gotta sign the fucking guest register. What the hell's, like, I understand if you want to surprise him, but I've never seen you before. How do you even know where he lives?
I don't know, his fucking girlfriend told us.
You don't know, alright. Go ahead and roll the seat for me, please.
Ooh.
Damn.
So he guards with rapport, which he very obviously has none of, because he's a landlord. Holy crap. Alright, whatever. I don't even fucking care. Just sign the register and go upstairs. If I hear anything coming out of the 4th floor, I'm fucking calling the cops.
Yes, sir. Signs J. Travolta and keeps on going.
Okay, what are you guys signing?
I'm signing as Justin Hamish or whatever that guy's name was.
Justin Hampshire?
Yeah, Hampshire, yeah.
Okay. Danny?
I know, I'm trying to think. Oh no, I'll put A. Christie for Agatha Christie because she's a book nerd.
That's a pretty good one. I like that. Alright, so y'all run up to the 4th floor and you go up to the door. What do you do?
Can I do an investigation to see if I can hear anything through the door?
Louis is gonna rely on a different set of skills to get in.
Well, at least can I listen so I can investigate to make sure there's to see if I hear anything or anything
I'm gonna do
Sure, go ahead. What are you doing, Trace?
I'm gonna make a lore check to see if there's any sort of magical threshold on this door.
Good idea. Okay.
Okay, actually, let's let you do that first.
Well, you can do the investigate. It's like listening to the door. And so, Danny's rolling investigation. Trace is rolling a 5 on his lore check, which is amazing. And then, Louis, what are you doing?
Oh, well, I'm not investigating anything.
Burglary.
Okay.
Assuming Trace tells me the door is okay.
Okay, so Trace, you do see a low-level ward on the door.
This door's been warded. We're dealing with some type of magical power here.
Well, that's sort of your area of expertise. So,
do I recognize it as like a very hastily made ward, or not very effective, or how is it like? If it's like a low level, is it just a weak ward, or is it not?
It's more so the fact that this place doesn't really seem like to have a strong root.
Okay.
Like the wards are more successful. Basically, it's like trying to defend a wooden shack versus trying to defend a castle keep. Your defenses are based off of what your foundation is, and your foundation is based off of like how much of a home that place is, how secure and reliant you are on that place for basically your energies. So like
this apartment, you have a lot of transient people there. And
exactly. It's hard to find any good purchase. So, I mean, you know that off the bat. This is like a bachelor pad apartment complex. You're not getting any substantial wards in on this, but you could get something fairly nasty.
But it was warded, right?
It was warded, yes.
Well, Chase, can you do something about it? Because shenanigans are happening.
Danny, you can't hear anything over these two jabbering.
Yeah, no, I saw my 0 sadness.
Can I make another lore check to see what I can do to counteract this threshold?
I believe. Let's see here.
Would that be something else? Frankly, does it even matter if it's that low?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find out for you. Story 276. Do 276. Okay. You just know it's low level. Basically, the way the wards work in this game is you have to overcome them. If you do, you don't have to deal with the resulting attack. If you don't, you do have to deal with the resulting attack. If that makes sense. So you kind of have to attack it in some way, and in which case the burglary might work as a quote unquote attack. But if you don't make high enough, then you're going to have to take the ward itself. So maybe something along the lines of attacking the ward directly through some magical means, Trace, might work.
Do you have a potion that would do the job? Because I don't know, Otherwise, it's a stock standard door, and I'm your stock standard hooligan.
Resources check. See what I got.
Sure, go for it. Would that be that 0 I just saw pop up?
Yep, that'd be that.
All right, so you're not seeing anything offhand.
Is there anything in the hall to go along with that resources check?
Not that you can see. Make me another lore check. There you go. Okay. So you can tell that this is set up specifically more as an alarm than anything. Basically, if the ward is attacked or the door is opened and it's not the person that's supposed to open it, the equivalent of a flashbang will go off.
Okay.
But you're not sure exactly what the effect is going to be. You just know it's set to go off once it's opened.
Is there some way we can trigger the effect with minimize the actions?
I have a terrible idea.
Make Louis
Landlord's
set it off.
downstairs. No, landlord's downstairs, right?
Yeah.
His girlfriend's supposed to be home. She isn't here. Can you let us in?
Okay. All right, go for it.
I'm gonna hustle back downstairs. Like, hey. He's almost here, but apparently his girlfriend had to pick him up or something. She just got a hold of me. It's locked. We got to get in there and set up real quick. Can you help us out, man? Come on. I mean, there's a little something in it for you. I'm sure your tenants will be happy.
Okay, so make me a. So you're trying to see if a bribe will work, right?
Yeah.
Make me a rapport check. You're gonna analyze him. Fantastic. All right, let's see.
Look at you, Louis, rolling something good.
If there's one thing I know, it's people. and that sarcasm is very unappreciated.
So you have a 20 ready in hand, and you slide it across the table. It's like, and the guy looks up at you and he goes, "All right, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but whatever." So he goes upstairs, trundles up, sees the two of you standing on either side, and he starts to unlock the door and opens up.
And I stay a little behind him, just like, oh, this.
Yeah, I'm going to take a step back, too.
I'm gonna go a couple doors down just to be on the safe side.
So as he opens the door up, there is a bright flash and a cacophonous boom that the landlord drops to his knees and falls face forward to the dirt.
Oh my god.
Louis gonna reach down and take his 20 back.
Take a plot point for that. That's amazing.
That is what you get for being a greedy, corruptible asshole.
Wow.
Louis is just gonna step over him and head into the room. You guys coming or what?
Yep.
He's just gonna scurry over him and just. Like,
I kind of try to pick up the dude and like sit him up in the hall or something.
No. Bring him into the room. Someone sees him out there, they might call the police. And let me tell you, I'm pretty sure the sergeant is not gonna be happy this time.
All right,
if he hears about it. I mean, he had some words from me last time.
I'll bring him in.
Okay. So
what do we see?
All right. So the first
Also,
thing you guys
where do
see.
I write down plot points?
The plot points are your.
Fate points.
Where are they? Oh, down at the bottom.
Yeah.
Where you see the current fate points, there's a fate points icon.
Yes.
So you would edit that.
I just. So instead of 3, I'd go up to 4.
Correct. Okay. So you. You guys notice a very, very organized apartment. And there's a giant map on one side of the apartment that has a whole bunch of thumbtacks in it of different colors. And the little girl is standing in the middle of the room. It looks like a classic bachelor pad. It's a studio apartment. There's a small kitchenette off to the side. There's a private bathroom, but mostly it's open. There's a bed, leads right into the very open living room.
Do I notice any like symmetry to the room?
No, not really.
Okay.
Time to start tossing this place. No, wait, here for a reason. Louis is gonna go over and look at the map.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Someone
follow
get a
him
picture
too.
of it.
Do you have a working? Oh, yeah, no, right.
So.
Anyone got a camera?
This.
Take a picture of it.
She'd probably have her. Danny would have her phone on her so she can take pictures. Oh Christ!
Yep. So this is what you see. It looks like a very touristy map. But as you notice, there's a lot of pins just kind of floating in there. Each seems to be directly related to some sort of a building. But that's really all that you can come up with. There is no legend for the colors of the thumbtacks. There's no anything like that.
Is Revere in the room?
Revere is in the room. He's also kind of like floating around, looking and seeing what's going on.
Can I get his attention and ask him if, like, the points correspond to any of his flock that have either gone missing or, like, there have been instances where, like, there's a ghost associated with that particular building that something's happened?
Sure.
I have no idea what kind of role that would be.
That would actually be Paul. So Paul sets to work on that. Paul floats over and he's focusing on it. Again, meanwhile, the girl is standing in the direct middle of the room and just kind of watches you all as you.
Is this
go
Harry's apartment? I asked.
This is where I met Harry. Yes.
I'm gonna look around for some type of like identification.
Make
like
me an investigation.
A do I have investigation?
This might be one of those times to use that fate point.
Oh, investigation.
Investigation.
Mine's fair. I don't know if I can
Could I-
assist you in a roll.
One!
Can I use burglary as I'm trying to case this place a little bit?
Casing and actively looking for information are two different things.
That's true. Yeah, I got nothing.
You can roll it. You can't roll it to find things, but you can roll it to assist somebody and where valuable things might be.
No.
If at any point you have, which you're not admitting that you have knocked over
I can
a
neither
building.
confirm nor deny that I may be a ne'er-do-well and a scoundrel.
It
Yeah,
doesn't
you
necessarily have to be a bill I'm looking for, like a picture or anything.
Yeah.
I think it'd be difficult to find.
You do see a stack of mail, all addressed to Harry Goodman. It's all like bills. You do see one thing, however, and it's a statement from PRI. The bill, it is unopened, but it has the big PRI logo on it.
Do I recognize the name Harry Goodman?
You can certainly roll connections.
Actually, can
or
I roll?
Contacts?
Yeah.
Yep, so both of you roll me
Because-
contact.
Yeah. I feel like anything PRI she can roll contacts on, or try to at least. You don't even need me, Trace.
Okay, so Trace, you rolled really well, but you specifically do not know a Harry Goodman personally. He has not set foot in your bar before, that you know of. You have heard his name whispered around before, or said, I should say, in some type of functions, generally employees talking back and forth to each other of PRI that have come in and said something about the Goodman case or something like that, but nothing substantial that you would know who Harry Goodman is. However, Danny, even with your low roll, considering your dad works for PRI, you have heard of Harry Goodman before, but you've only heard of him. You don't know what he does.
I will
Louis.
resist having a relapse from episode 1 and calling her mother. I will not. I will try not to at this
Why
point.
not? She'd love to talk to you right about
Oh
now.
my god.
Why don't you call your mother?
Why don't you call your mother more often?
Oh my god. What's gonna turn to a normal thing? I should just make that one of my aspects. Like, mommy.
Mama's girl.
Mommy's girl.
Yup.
All right, Louis, what would you like to do?
So Trace is looking the place over. Danny's trying to figure out if she knows anything about this whole PRI stuff. Louis gonna talk to the ghost.
Okay.
So, what was he having you do? I mean, maybe we can help you find him.
I was looking.
Looking for.
I was looking.
This is not something I normally have to deal with sober, but can you show me on the map what you were looking? Like, what? Maybe you can give me an idea of what he had you looking for?
So she drifts over, nods very slightly, and points toward one of the red pins. You notice that there are far more red pins than any other color on there, and they cover a fairly large swath of Boston.
So what do the red ones mean?
I just know that's where he sent me.
Is there one at the Lincoln Estate?
No. There's not. There's no
Hey,
pins on the Lincoln Estate.
Is Paul here too?
Paul is right next to you. Yep.
Alright. Paul, any light on this one?
Well, since the child has discerned that the red is where she has gone, I can only assume that whoever this Harry is has been scouting. And these red pins are locations that they have been looking. But for what, I don't know.
Well, what would any of them have in common? I mean, are they where you have your ghostly bonfires or something?
You'll have to give me some time. I don't see any particular pattern to any of it.
Well, but I'm sure we'll find one.
So,
is there a pin at my bar?
No, there is not.
Good.
Okay, can Danny look at the map and see if like the red dots are in any place that she would know, or that are with her limited knowledge of her where her dad works? Is there any of like their properties or something that connects it all back to PRI?
You do notice that the PRI main building in Boston does not have a pin on it. However, Harvard does, and Harvard does not have a red pin. It has a blue pin.
I was about to ask, are there any other colors of pins on the board?
It looks like there's blue and green. Harvard has
which one?
blue.
Wait, which one has a blue pin?
Harvard.
Harvard.
Oh Lord. Lord.
You notice that the blue pins are some of the fewest on there. You notice that there are several parks that have blue pins in them, as well as a couple different other locations that you just don't recognize offhand.
So, as much as I hate to say this, so there's a statement from PRI. Bank statement, check, something like that?
You don't know. It's just a sealed envelope.
Well, this guy's got a kitchenette. There's the old terrible way of opening an envelope.
I mean, you could.
Fuck it, it's good to reseal afterwards.
Okay, go for it.
Alright, what would you like me to roll?
I think you can open... actually, roll me burglary for that one. Mr. Scalawag.
Burgle.
Let me get some burgles up in here.
So no, I'm trying to think. So there's a blue dot on Harvard. Like, is this in general Harvard, or like any specific building, or
No, just in general. Louis, you managed to successfully open the envelope in a stealthy way that can be resealed.
All right.
You kind of heat the knife up and slide it very slowly so that it basically melts the glue.
Well, shit, a boiling pot of water can do that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so open it up.
Uh-huh.
What do we have in here?
It is a statement, you're right, a bank statement from PRI, indicating almost like a paycheck.
Direct deposit.
Mm-hmm.
How much is this guy getting paid from PRI?
You notice that this is over a 2-week period, and you notice there are 4 digits. The last 3 in zeros.
Louis lets out a little whistle. That's a lot of money for 2 weeks.
Yep, I would say so.
And you notice that, actually, roll me... What would you roll to notice something while reading?
Scholarship!
Oh my god, can I roll a scholarship check?
You can.
Oh my god!
Look at college girl. Actually
Watch,
using
I
the
totally-
skills her daddy pays for.
Ooh.
Louis, if you enjoy having your face where it is, I would cease and desist.
Bring it on.
Okay.
I'll take your drinks than you.
Suck it.
All right, so you're peering over the shoulder. You heartily disapprove of opening somebody else's mail, but you can't help but peer over his shoulder as he's reading it, and you notice, number one, he's being paid a lot for an employee of PRI, like an obscene amount, almost like a contractor. From
he gets paid this
other
much, and he lives in a place like this.
Right.
Yeah, there's really not connecting here.
You also notice that the term for special services rendered, one might say that could indicate something more.
Oh, is it just for services rendered?
Special services rendered.
I feel
Is there any other-
the more and more connections to her dad's company, she's just like, what the hell does my dad do?
So
Maybe this guy spent
is there
30,000 on concessions at Jets and Giants games.
so is there any
Sorry, I couldn't
other
resist.
paperwork from PRI floating around here?
Not that you can directly see, but you guys haven't exactly ransacked the place either.
Well, I was trying to toss the place as part of a burglary check, but that didn't work so well.
I don't have burglary, so I really can't help you there.
Trace.
Yo.
Actually, everybody just roll me 4d4. I'm sorry, 4 fate dice.
4DF?
Yeah, 4df.
What do I need for that?
It's literally //r space 4df, like everybody else is. Oh my god.
Wow. Look at him roll.
That's better than negative, I assume.
Goose eggs. All goose eggs.
What? Am I doing it wrong?
I think so. So /r, as in Roger.
Not forward slash, it's backslash.
/4
I don't know.
D
Worked for me. That's /.
4
No.
D
F as in Frank.
F.
Yeah, that's
a backslash.
that's a
It is
backslash.
backslash.
Then I got. Let's try this again.
so /r as in Roger space 4df, like you had it.
Ah, okay, got it. There
Okay.
we go.
So apparently none of you have experience with this. Okay. Louis, roll me another burglary check.
Oh boy.
Good luck, my son.
And Trace and Danny both roll me rapport. Or I'm sorry, empathy.
Report would have been better. Twee.
Okay. So Danny, you're poring over the statement. And you think to yourself, okay, if this man is being paid by PRI, he has to have like a badge or something from PRI, right, in order to get him into buildings. So you kind of think about it and you look over at the other two and it's like, do you think he would be a normal person and keep any identification or a wallet in the nightstand?
Can I go check the nightstand?
Yes, you can.
Do I have to roll an investigation for that? Or do I just say that I checked it?
So you guys find an ID badge on a little tag for Mr. Harry Goodman. And you all recognize the man in the picture as the one that was face down in the bar.
What?
Okay.
Why? So, God, basically a double life here.
And that's where we're going to end it this week.
You hooker.
Can I do one last thing before we end it?
Sure.
Can I make a lore check to see if there's any sort of magic emanating from this apartment?
There is not, other than the ward. That was it. I lie. I'm sorry. Go ahead, roll it.
I did 9.
Jesus.
Suck on it.
This place is thriving with magic, almost in the same way that your lab thrives with magic. It is not a place where a wizard practices. You hope never to have to experience that particular feeling of magic ever again. But that same focused practitioner feel is entirely around you right now.
Okay, then.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. That's it for today, folks.
I'm not okay with this cliff ending.
Well, it's
better
like
than the last one.
That's true.
So what did I find with the burglary? Just the ID?
That would be it. Basically, you were focusing, like, you thought about it, and you were focusing too much on a bigger picture of, like, big value items that you might find, and you thought, well, wait a minute. If I was just a regular person snooping for, like, a wallet, where would I find it? You know, where would I find obvious items that would reveal his identity? And you're like, oh, well, nightstand, duh. Why didn't I think of it before? Type stuff.
Gotta stop thinking big picture, Louis. Always gets you in trouble.
Always gets you in trouble with the big picture. Okay, so what'd you guys think? Did you guys have fun with our first combat experience and the rallying chase through Boston?
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
I got to do things this time.
You so, be burglary-like.
Also, you know, surprising the landlord was fun.
That was hilarious. That made it worse. I was like, oh, please. That was
That's going to be great. So that's all going to bite you in the ass, by the way.
Well, hey, you know, sign J. Travolta.
Yeah, but one person didn't. So we'll see how that all plays out for you guys. I'm smiling so hard right now because I am loving where this went. But yeah, pretty much everything I set up for this scenario happened. And I would say we got, scrolling down.
Did we get a lot done?
I'd say we got 2 more months of play.
Badass.
So 4 more sessions.
Assuming we don't have to push it back another month.
I think we're all right. We got about 4 more sessions worth of stuff.
Yay, seasons.
Yay! And then we'll take a break, and most likely we'll either play something else and allow me to take some time to format the second season, or we'll figure something out. But yeah, so we got about...
We will do something shenanigan-like.
Yes, there will be shenanigans involved.
Shenanigans!
So what'd you guys think? Let me know. Good, bad, ugly. How did you enjoy it?
Good. I felt like the spotlight was shared very equally, and shenanigans were passed around.
Oh yes, all the shenanigans.
And I feel like I'm finally managing to dial in Louis just a little bit.
I liked that steal the 20 bag moment. That was.
I felt like we were all.
Go ahead, Mike.
I felt like we were all heavily involved. Not like one of us was like dominating.
It didn't become a one-man band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. I really try and strive for that too, because it's all of your stories, not just one person. Everybody can do something. It's just a matter of figuring out what you can do. Are you guys excited?
Well, of course Lou's going to take the 20 back. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm sad that we're down to 3 people, and I hope Benny can, I guess, kind of hit the ground running to get caught up with the rest of us.
Yep, he's. I'm going to be basically talking to him fairly shortly to figure out what he wants to do and how he wants to set up. He said if we still need a character in 2 weeks, he'll be more than happy to step in. So I think we're going to have a new character, folks, that you all are going to meet.
All right.
Yup. Any questions, comments, ideas, things that you want to happen, or have your expectations changed since we started?
I don't really have expectations. I know you go ridiculous with some things, so I'm expecting shenanigans to like explode next session, knowing your brain.
I'm really scared to see what Benny's gonna play, because so help me, if he plays something even remotely related to a cop, this all just went real downhill.
Okay.
What was I gonna say? I forget.
Expectations?
I didn't really have any expectations, but it's a lot different venturing with these guys than with Sister Julian.
Oh my God, Sister Julian was a beast. It was hilarious. So Sister Julian was the battle nun that he was playing with before, and she was the hit it again, hit it a third time, and then ask questions after everything is on the floor.
I think she needs to be an NPC in this game.
I'm waiting for Danny and Louie to have it out finally.
Oh,
The
man.
jabs are gonna push someone over the edge.
Oh, I can't wait. I want that to be a thing at some point, just for you guys to like fucking throw it out and be like, I'm fucking done with you. Because it will play so very nicely into everything that's going on in my head.
Well, I mean, after today, you know, things
Don't
are actually
force
pretty
it.
calm.
Don't force it, but yeah, everything should be pretty calm right now until you start realizing things.
Oh boy.
Oh my.
Did you make us like conflicting things that hate each other?
I cannot confirm nor deny this.
I swear to God.
I'm sure.
And the best part is, you know, when I say that, I actually mean it.
That's the terrifying part, that you do
Yeah,
mean
because
it.
you're just gonna tell us what we are, and you're gonna let us do things with it.
Pretty much. Jinx, yell me a Coke.
So, okay. Is there anything that you guys want to happen soon? Now that we're like 4 sessions in.
No, actually, we're doing pretty good.
Okay.
I think keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I don't have any real add-ons, although, because I'm thinking getting the PRI is going to be quite interesting.
Well, I mean, we
See,
got
like, I
Daddy's
feel
girl
like-
here.
Yeah, I feel like literally I could just be like, hey guys, I'm visiting my dad, here are my friends, okay, bye. And that's literally what's gonna happen.
Yeah, my asshole
There goes
dad
security.
is there too.
Yeah, I can't really say that to the guys there, but yeah, no, pretty much. I feel like Dan's getting to the point where she's just like, what the hell is wrong with my dad?
Or at least PRI in general.
I can
Oh,
guarantee
yeah,
you, if we
but-
go on a visiting dad trip to PRI, Louis is going to throw a wrench in it, just because I'm sure his personality is going to find something wrong with it.
Oh, absolutely.
Please do.
Please, by all means, I would love to have security called on you.
All of a sudden, it's gonna be like, I don't know this man, you can take him away. He just followed us in, I don't know what happened.
She's been riding in the same car as me for the past week.
Lies!
Okay, so I'm gonna jump off. I'm gonna talk to Celtic real quick. I'm gonna talk to Benny and see what I can come up with. But I've looked very forward to playing with you guys again. If you guys at any point want to play a week early and have a filler week, let me know.
Essentially, the off-season episodes. Kind of.
Not so much the off-season episodes, but I'm more than willing to play another. Like, if we're all in the same room type stuff, like, Mike, if you have a Tuesday off that your D&D game calls off, text me, let me know, and we can try and get something together for a Tuesday. That way we can continue playing, because I know you guys, the every other week kills everybody, because they're like, what happens next? So
It kills me, but at the same time, it lets me balance everything else. Granted, that with the summer being here, things should be a bit calmer.
Yeah, this is the first week of
Remember
summer
Squeaky
break
Cat?
for me.
nice. We'll have
Although
to get.
grades
we'll have
had to be submitted at 3 o'clock this afternoon, so I'm waiting for all the darn Dr. Davis, please help me with my grade emails.
Why did this happen, Dr. David? Because you didn't try hard enough, student. Thank you. Move along.
Pretty much.
Just so you know, Mike, we do board gaming on Monday nights at my place. If at any point you and maybe Heather would like to come over again.
Okay. We got swing dance Monday nights, but
Okay. And the other part of it is, I think every other Thursday on off weeks, the board gaming group with the Lehigh Valley happens, and they go over to Elevation Burger on Cedar Crest and Tillman, and they go play board games in there after a burger.
cool.
Yep. So I'll let you know next time it happens. I've been trying to get all my friends out there because it's actually a lot of fun. But okay, with that, I'm going to end the stream, and I will bid you all